that guy literally did everything in his power to just continue to be himself, and open the door for other creatives to be comfortable with just being themselves.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Empire, where we engage with everyone from pastors to actors, rappers to trappers, and everybody in between. Yes, we have another great guest today, but before we get into it, y'all should know the deal. Actually, we're going to skip past that part. Nah, I'm just joking. Y'all should know the fucking deal. Like the video, please. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Comment down below what you think. My name is Antonio Lee Miles. Yes, your host for today with the swaggity swag, or if you can catch it, you can catch it. If you can't, then you're not on point. And like I said, we're doing great work out here, or I've been saying we've been doing great work out here. I've been hearing from other people, been doing great work out here. And we appreciate all the support. Liking the video is good enough. Sharing the video is good enough. But if you want to help with some greenbacks and help put the money in to keep it actually moving in this world, you can do our CashApp, which is $THEE Empire. Venmo, same thing, THEE Empire Podcast. And we also have PayPal, which is paypal.me/The Empire Podcast. All three will be in the description for today's video and mostly all the videos. But other than that, we can do jumping jacks and have some cracker jacks and get that all smack in a smack. But we're going to talk about our guest today, who's an entrepreneur, businessman, father, artist, and who also runs his own podcast. And his name is Mike Session. Welcome to the podcast, Mike.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I really do appreciate it, actually.
Man, it's so great to have you, bro. How you been?
I've been good, man. Had quite the long weekend, but that's kind of like my life, So, like I said, just excited to be here. I've been straight,
Okay.
I really can't complain. I try not to complain.
Got you.
Yeah.
Try to keep the complaints to a minimum.
You have to. My girl tells me all the time that I complain too much.
Oh, really?
So I'll just be like, all right, I need to work on that. Be more present in the moment.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Since we're already here, we got to ask. Like, what is she saying that you're complaining about?
Just some of the day-to-day stuff, just like maybe my job has probably been like wearing my ass out.
Okay.
Just it's really just the day-to-day stuff. Like,
Okay.
Like, damn, like I gotta go do this, I gotta go do this, I gotta go do this, and she just
Facts.
like, all right, you gotta work on that a little bit.
Gotcha. There's this. Well, I guess we're gonna go kind of deep here. Yeah. So there's actually a belief system in a certain group where they say that men should never complain to their women. Mm-hmm. They say men should only release their problems onto other men.
That sounds toxic as hell.
Well, no, express their problems and issues to other men, because only men can understand men problems. And women don't care about men's problems or men issues.
Right.
And it looks like weakness to a woman seeing a man complain. So it's better to keep your problems away from your girl and talk to your homies about it.
But do you think that in a way kind of like reinforces or or enables like toxic behavior?
Not at all.
You don't think so?
Not at all.
Like even like with the topic of like vulnerability, like do you think you should be able to be vulnerable with your woman?
To an extent, but no.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, because like I said, it becomes a form of weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a certain belief system that certain people have, and it's mostly against the modern norm. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like they say, "Oh yeah, we want you to be vulnerable," but when you started being vulnerable,
really don't want that,
they complain about it.
Mm-hmm.
So the truth is, they don't want. They want a man to protect and provide, and they'll be vulnerable to you.
Yeah.
Right, and a man should only express like his issues to other men.
And like they'll weaponize your vulnerability.
They will. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like it's like I know exactly what you mean. I'm like just kind of just playing devil's advocate, But
okay.
I totally understand it. Like in terms of I see it, like being you supposed to be the quote unquote breadwinner and all this different type of stuff, or just like be the person that everybody can count on in the house for any type of situation. Like they supposed to follow the man's lead.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely understand it. I understand that mentality, but yeah, it gets tricky. That entire thing gets really tricky, especially today. Like,
yeah, I think it's simpler than you think.
You think so?
Definitely.
Okay.
I think the only way it gets tricky is you're trying to adjust to what society's trying to tell you to be, right? But then society, our modern society, modern Western society they're confused.
Got it.
You know what I mean? They don't even know what million gender name, like it's endless.
Like the blind leading the blind.
Basically, if you wouldn't go biblical with it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to like, the argument is like, if something's been working since like the dawn of time, and we're trying this new thing that's not working,
Right.
there must be there must be an issue.
Got it.
Like the old saying, like, don't fix what's not broken.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think about like an umbrella. Like, like an umbrella, like what's it? Like
Hey,
this.
That's actually funny because umbrellas are so simple.
Yeah.
It's like they get the job done.
Yeah.
But it's such a.
Yeah.
You would think it'd be like something more modern, something that would just be like prevent us from getting wet, but just the umbrella
That's it. Like,
it works.
yeah. Like why? The most they did was put it on a hat. And that didn't really do as well as the hat.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, why fix what's not broken, or.
That's actually hilarious. Look, just the umbrella shit.
Just as a
I'm
concept.
think about that often now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we've been tricked, and I was on that plane too, and then like you start realizing like, okay, man, like once, I guess it's kind of like taking the blinders off, like I guess like kind of seeing like the truth or whatever, or seeing it with a better lens. So yeah, I don't know, but it's to each their own in the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that's important. Like what you just said is very important, mainly because like I grew up with nothing but women. You know what I mean? Like a bunch of aunties. My mom's a single mom. So my dad wasn't around, so I didn't really see a lot of like powerful men figures in my life.
Yeah.
So I often kind of seen things through the lenses of women's perspectives.
Yeah.
So like when I often like talk to other men and they kind of reiterate kind of like what you're saying. Like it makes sense now that I have kids and I have a girl and we all live together and all that stuff. And I see the expectations that it is placed on me. And like you said, my girl be like, you need to stop complaining so much because she don't want to see that from her man.
Yeah.
She wants to see a little bit more of a dominant leader type figure,
Yeah.
Whether she says it or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, okay, if you're the protector if you're the protector of the house and you're complaining, then it kind of, you lose the image of being strong and powerful.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And to each their own, I guess every relationship is different, but I'm generally speaking, you know what I mean? And I only mentioned it because you said your girl was like, hey, you complain too much, right? Yeah. And so you're a father, huh, too?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, congratulations. I know it's a beautiful job, and I think children are a blessing. Not all people should have children. That's a different topic.
Absolutely.
But I do think that people are giving kids to better their life, and then people have like a choice whether to step up to the plate or not. That's just my opinion, though.
I say it all the time that my kids saved my life.
Uh-huh.
If I didn't have kids, I don't know what the hell I would be out here doing. I would probably be in some deep shit somewhere.
Got you.
You know what I mean? My kids slowed me the hell down. It made me have to think about things outside of myself, like on a way bigger scale, And yeah, it's just like the job of a father is, you can't even like really describe it. It's a task.
Yes.
It is a task. Do you have any kids?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah, it is a task, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cause it's a task, man. Yeah, it's a task, man.
She just broke out singing.
Yeah, it reminded. I don't know. That made me think of that song. Well, since we're into it, Mike, can you tell us all who you are and what you do for people who don't know who you are and what you do, man?
Yeah. My name is Mike Sessions, man. I'm from Watts, California. I was raised there, like probably the first, 6-7 years of my life. My family is primarily based in Watts. So, I came from the Imperial Course Projects. And yeah, I moved around a lot as a kid. After we left, we went Long Beach, Whittier, you know what I mean, Paramount. I moved to San Bernardino a couple times. I actually lived a good portion of my life in San Bernardino. And yeah, I'm an artist. You know, I do a lot of different things. I went to school for video production,
Okay.
Cal State San Bernardino. Shout out to Yodis. And yeah, man, I'm just all around. I do a lot of different things, man. I'm just into a lot of different things. And for people that don't know, I have a podcast called If I Let You Tell It Podcast. I've been running it for 3 years now. A little over 3 years, and it's doing good, doing numbers, and can't wait to I'll start getting the bag from that, you know. And yeah, father, you know what I mean, and I don't know, I have a lot going on. I'll say that just in terms of just trying to balance everything and trying to figure out how to really hone into my creativity.
Got you.
And make it make sense for not just me, but just for my life in general, for those that are around me, my kids and everything. Like, you know, my son is an artist as well, you know, so he's an amazing drawer. Like, he draws like freehand, like he just draws things.
Okay.
And he's 7 years old, but he is like phenomenal, you know.
You have more than one kid?
Yeah, I have a son and a daughter.
How 7 and what?
7 and 5. She's gonna be 6 next month.
Oh wow, they're not that far apart.
Nah, they was
Gotcha.
back to back like Drake. Yeah.
Okay.
It was literally like he was doing diapers when I actually found out I was gonna have a daughter on April Fool's Day.
Got you.
So I thought it was a joke. You know what I mean? And then she was just like, she told me like April 3rd, she was still like, yo, I'm pregnant.
Got you. Like, damn,
oh, shit.
This is the longest April Fool's joke I ever heard in my life.
Right. So yeah, they're literally back to back, and some people will say that it's best to have kids back to back because they get to grow up together and
I
you
think
get to kind
so.
of knock it out.
Yeah.
But the
For
challenges,
the parents.
though,
Yeah, for the parents.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, you know. So yeah, I'm into a lot of different things.
Got you. When you first mentioned them back to back, I was like, okay, at least they'll be in high school together. That's the first thing I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, they'll be in high school together.
Yeah.
And what's cool is that since you're into the arts, like you're able to help like nourish your son's artistic vision, you know, or like goals and stuff like that. Nurture that. Because I think it's kind of hard for some parents who are not really into the arts, try to like nurture their child in the arts. And some actually get away with, because they just want to give their child the best, and some do that.
Yeah.
Do. When you went to Cal State San Bernardino for video production,
Yeah.
what did you want to do?
Bro, when I first initially signed up, went to Cal State, I went to school for psychology initially.
Okay.
Well, first I went undeclared, so I didn't have a major at first. But I ended up declaring psychology, and I was just like, oh, I want to understand the human brain, and I want to help people understand what the flow. Then you start to realize I'm not interested in this shit. Like, I was in the classes, and I was like, this is not connecting the way I thought it would.
Like, nope.
And I had one elective class that was in communications, and it was interpersonal communications?
I believe so.
I went into that class, and I was just like, yo, this is fire. You know, you just like, you know, you learn about like the different ways of like sending, like, this is the process of communication in itself. You know what I mean? Like being able to deliver something and also receive it, and just like how important both parts are. So we talked about like tone and all that different type of stuff. But like if you say certain words a certain way, like how it just impacts the delivery of your message. And that just like, it just like felt good. And then I started going into some of the classes with video production.
Okay.
But mind you though, at that point I was already doing videos. Me and my brother, we used to do like skits and all that stuff, and like when I was in high school. So back in the day, we used to literally like be on MySpace and just like uploading videos of us just doing all kind of crazy shit, like stuff you see like on TikTok and all that stuff. We was doing that in like 2004, 2005.
Okay.
And we were just uploading. So I was already into video editing and all that stuff. So then I ended up finding out that was by way of like with college, that communications had like video production and all this stuff. So I was like, oh, interesting. So I took a class, and like it was easy. It was just like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do, you know? So literally from there, I ended up doing some more videos, and I did this video called Ashy Ass Knees.
Okay. Dang.
Yeah.
Black folks know about that shit.
No, it went semi-viral on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just doing it with my brother. We were just having fun. He came to my campus one day, and we just shot this video, put it up on YouTube. I was 20 years old, and everybody literally to this day, it was a rendition of the Soulja Boy "Pretty Boy Swag" song.
Okay.
But it was a parody of it.
Gotcha.
Ashy ass knees.
Hilarious.
So it took off, and everybody was singing that to me on campus. It was crazy. Even white people was coming to me. I didn't like that.
Singing ashy ass knees, hey.
Singing ashy ass knees. But it was just like, it took off, and I knew I had something. From then on, I was like, okay, I could actually, like, whether it's entertaining or, just content-wise, like, I know I can step into that field and be a natural at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you meet Cam? Because you also met Cam Gnarly at Cal State San Bernardino, right? You were mentioning?
Yeah.
Was this before?
I know
or?
he was there, but I don't know the specific way I met him because it was also like we have like some of the same friends.
Okay.
So we might have even met at like a house function or something like that.
Got
probably.
you.
Because I used to throw a lot of parties out here in San Bernardino. Like,
Oh, really? Like house them?
House parties, apartment parties, wherever. Kickbacks, like I was known.
Like you would host them?
Oh yeah, that was my thing. Like so it was constant for years. Like people would come to my house and it would just be like a thing. So. And I joined a fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Blue Phi. So our frat parties was just like, it was a lot. So I met Cam. Like that's my boy, man. And then he's doing this music stuff. And he's super dope. And yeah, man. I don't know. You just start surrounding yourself with people who are just like into a lot of the same things, music and all that stuff, and and you just kind of like just go from there.
Facts.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Cam Gnarly.
Shout out Cam, man.
It's crazy because, wow, what I was thinking, and we talked a little bit about it, which is, talked a little bit about your upbringing, because I think, unfortunately, a lot of Black American men are growing up with mostly women,
Right.
Whether it's system-wise or they just, whatever situation.
Especially our generation.
Yeah. But could you give us all like a brief background story of like where you grew up? What you told us was Watts.
Yeah.
How you grew up. Like we learned a little bit more that you have a brother and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To basically where you are right now, living in the SD, right? San Diego. Yeah. Obviously got kids, running a podcast. Mm-hmm. Maybe tell us also some of the work that you're doing right now, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, if you could give us like a brief story about, how you grew up, where you grew up, all the way up to where we are today.
Man, I bounced around. I went to like 13 different schools growing up.
Okay.
Like literally we moved every year, it felt.
Gotcha.
Like after we left Watts.
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 33.
33?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're still young. Okay.
Yeah. So we bounced around. My mom, I didn't realize until I got older that my mom she was dealing with a lot of different things, a lot of financial things and stuff like that. And, as a kid, you kind of just move with whatever the parents are doing.
Yeah, you just you're living underneath them.
But I didn't understand, like, because I used to go from my mom's house to my grandma's house all the time. So I lived with both of them, like, different parts of my life. So I lived half my life with my mom, half my life with my grandma.
Okay.
But I didn't realize a lot of those times when I was at my grandma's house, my mom was thugging it out, trying to figure something, trying to figure out how to make it. So every time I would, like, go back to my mom's house, we'll be in a whole different apartment. I'm like, who house is this? You know what I mean? But it was like my mom just found a new place and yada, yada. And yeah, man, like
and this is throughout the whole, like...
This is like my entire up until 18.
Okay.
So like I said, we was stationed in the projects until I was like 5, 6 years old. Mm-hmm. And then we moved around, but we used to always visit the area because that's, like I said, my family was in Watts. So that's why I used to get my hair cut in the Jordan Downs. We used to get hair cut on the porch, and like my mom, I don't know. My mom, she was really trying to figure it out. She had 2 boys at the time. It was before my sister was born. And I have a little brother named Dre. Shout out Dre. 2 years younger than me. And, I was a scholar. I was the kid who was never really into the mix like that. Like
street life type of thing?
Yeah, like, because I saw it all the time. Like, my family, like, involved. You know what I mean? So I just really enjoy reading. I enjoyed
fiction, nonfiction.
I loved like drama and shit like that.
Okay,
but, like I was kind of into science fiction, like, but it wasn't really my thing until I got older. Okay, but I really love like a good narrative. I love a good like just a really good story.
Okay.
You know, so I think that ended up leading me into like film and all that stuff and TV and video production. But yeah, I was always known as a kid that would carry a book every time we about to get into a car or go somewhere. I would bring a book with me.
Wow.
You know, so that was my thing. So everybody knew like he's gonna go to college and I was the first person in my family to go to college.
Okay.
You know, so well my auntie never went, but I was the first male
Okay.
guy to go to college. So, you know, it was just one of those things. Everybody like they didn't try to bring me into the street life. They didn't try to have me like they were just like they if anything, everybody kind of nurtured me in a way like, yo, you go over there, you keep doing that and don't worry about this over here, you know. So my family really looked after me in regards to that. But yeah, so long story short, I wasn't even supposed to go to Cal State San Bernardino.
Got you. What was your favorite book as a kid? Or when
Oh man, I used to read like the Babysitter's Club.
The Babysitter's Club.
David Copperfield, Oliver Twist. What else did I used to read? It was like, man, it was so many just different. My grandma on my dad's side, she sent me like this box. They live in Nebraska. She sent me this box just full of books.
Oh wow.
You know, and like, you know, I don't know. I used to just, and I love reading like autobiographies, you know. Like,
Okay.
I love autobiographies. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really like biographies. I like hearing it from the actual person.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise.
You know? So, because I feel like you hear from the actual person, it's like, it just has a different flair to it.
Facts.
You know?
Were you too young for Goosebump books?
No, I used to have Goosebumps.
Okay.
Okay. It had the little slimy, like, little logo and
Yeah,
everything.
very cool design.
Yeah. Oh, I love just like thrillers and like scary books and stuff like that. Like,
Okay.
I was really into that shit. Like,
Got
you know?
you.
So yeah, like I said, I just loved a good story. You know, yeah, that's what I gravitated towards. I didn't really like some of the other like more bland type things. It just didn't really catch me. But yeah, that was kind of. I mean, it's a lot to me, man. Like I saw a lot, man. I've been through a lot of different things, man. Just that I don't think any young man should ever go through. You know, just just the stuff that I saw, stuff that happened. Like you just, you know, it made me who I am, but it also allowed me to, as I got older, to just learn from a lot of shit. Where it's like I don't want my son to go through any of that, and obviously some shit you can't control.
True.
You know,
True.
when they go outside, like you know, you kind of have to just be like, yo, you gotta just leave it up to God at that point. You know?
Got you. Do you want to share any stories?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I wasn't really into the street life shit, but a lot of that shit did affect me. Like, you know, just going to school and stuff like that. And like I've gotten jumped a couple times just by way of whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Wrong place, wrong time type
I've
of
had a
thing?
gun put out on me twice. You know, one I was by myself. The second time I was with my cousins. Just like kind of like you in that area, you kind of look the part. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You of that age range, black dude walking around, like, you know, you get pressed on certain things.
Was it by the Poe or was it by
No, it was
neighborhood
by other
people?
niggas.
Got you.
No.
Were they trying to rob you? What was the
I
situation?
don't even know what they were trying to do. Well, one of the situations I was wearing the wrong color.
Okay.
You know? But
Did you know you were wearing the wrong color?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Okay.
Clearly. But I was in Inglewood at the time. We were living in Inglewood off Century and Fourth. And if anybody know anything about Inglewood is primarily Bloods. You know, and my family, I was born in the Crip family,
Got you.
so we don't really wear a lot of red. Not like I don't bang or nothing like that, but you just didn't wear red.
There's no red in the there's no red in the wardrobe. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some people do, but it was not the big of a deal now. But at the time, I had this striped shirt on, striped button up. The blue was like so thin, like it looked almost like black from a distance.
Okay.
For some odd reason, like they peeped it. It was like, yeah.
Got you.
And yeah, I had a gun put out at me in front of a grocery store. I was just trying to get my mom some bread.
Got you.
Not a grocery store, liquor store. Yeah, I went to the liquor store to try to get my mom some bread. And by grace of God, owner of the store was Asian guy, like literally like came out and like stopped the whole shit, had a gun on him. Like literally like get away from my store. Like, you know.
He told both of you guys basically.
Well, he was really, essentially, but he really was like kind of talking to the guy, but it was like, get that shit away from here, you know? And like, I'm still to this day, like, I think like I don't realize like how much of those things actually still play a part in my anxiety when I like leave the house and I go outside today. Like I'm very paranoid, just like on like, I'm always like looking, I can't even like sometimes enjoy myself when I'm just like outside. with my girl or whatever, like
Got you.
I'll be like, let's go home. Like I don't want to be outside, you know?
Because of these basically traumatic experiences.
Yeah, yeah. And I think a lot of dudes, especially growing up in LA, like I think a lot of dudes experience the same things, you know?
Yeah.
Not even think, I know a lot of dudes experience the same things, you know?
No, I agree because I used to know this cat who was part of the Rolling 60s.
Right.
And one day, I think we had a gig and yeah, we had to share a hotel room. And I was with my girl at the time. And I remember he passed out and like he was having like these crazy nightmares, like crazy nightmares. Like you could just hear him,
Yeah.
in the middle of the night, like, and you just know it's from living that life,
Right.
the shit he's seen, like, shit's wild, bro.
It's a lot, yeah. Like nightmares for sure. You know? Like I just stopped having nightmares. I don't know why. But my girl, she used to like recently, like she used to like see me like having like I used to like pop up out of my sleep and scream, whatever, like, just different stuff, like, and I've been in therapy though, like I've been in therapy for over a year.
Okay.
Shout out Yasmin, my therapist. And that's been helping, but it's still like you see, like I end up going into like this deep addiction with alcohol,
Okay.
and just it made me feel good in a way, like kind of like you not have to think about certain things, but it
escapism.
actually does like the reverse effect, because like you think like it makes you feel good in the moment, but like if you don't watch yourself when you drink and stuff like that, you end up kind of like going to this rabbit hole of just like negative thoughts,
Yeah.
and once I start realizing that really was like really making me into a really dark person, like I had to
Take a
I had to
step
step
back.
back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I mean, I still drink here and there, but like that, yeah. I mean, I'm not even here and there. Like, I still drink, but it's like now it's like I don't drink during the weekdays. You know what I mean? Like, I just be like, all right, I'm not doing it. Like, and like even my therapist, like, that's actually what put me into therapy.
Was the drinking?
The drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, like she created different plans, and at some point, like I went like 3 months without drinking at all.
Okay.
I tried like different methods and stuff like that, but I don't know. I just childhood in a nutshell, like it was not your regular upbringing, but what is regular upbringing?
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's different. Everyone's different.
Like, yeah, like
Everyone's
what is
different.
regular? Yeah.
I definitely want you to continue on your story and your journey on how you got to where you are today. But
Yeah.
I have to ask this question because, I've heard different things about therapists. And I had someone, Victoria, on talking about her therapist recently. But what I heard is that some people prefer therapists that can relate to the individual. So for Black men, if you don't know, we're both Black Afro-American men that are speaking right now.
Yeah.
They say that you can relate more when the person has gone through similar experiences as you, right? So, and I'm not saying anything about your therapist, but
Right.
have you ever sat down, and it's probably a lot harder to find a Black
male
Afro-American therapist, right?
And also that went through some of what you went through.
Yeah,
too,
but at least being a male, right?
Yeah,
Being
yeah.
a Black man, right? And I forgot, but basically I heard that the interest or commonality is easier to open up with and open up to and stuff like that. What do you think? How's your experience been for you?
It actually has been good. I see it two different ways. Like I see it that, yeah, I think if I had like a Black male therapist, I think there would definitely be like points that we can definitely connect on. That would probably be a little bit more easier to, divulge into certain topics.
Yeah.
But I also see on the flip side, with speaking to somebody who never went through that, you kind of see a different perspective of like just a more objective way of thinking about things or looking at things. And with my therapist, like she's a Latino woman.
Okay.
She's from San Diego, and like just some of the pointers that she say, like I would have never thought about that, So yeah, that's essentially kind of like the entire experience with her. Is she allows me to just kind of just speak, and just get it out. And like I said, like she has her own way of upbringing, things that she came. And I think sometimes when you are sitting with somebody who's been through similar things, sometimes they will kind of like pigeonhole the conversation into what their experience was. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you can relate to it, but it's also just like, I don't know. You know how some people just like project on something. I don't know.
Yeah,
How
I'm with you.
I'm
I
saying that.
understand.
You know what I mean?
understand.
And it's just like I just like the real objective stance from somebody who's never been through it, but can kind of see from outside looking in. Like, have you ever looked at it this way? You
Gotcha.
know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what my therapist does. Like, she's really good at just being like, okay. But with me, like, I only know what I know.
Facts.
You know?
Yeah. And I think
And-
that's their job, is to be objective as a therapist.
Right. And some are not. Like some, like I've been in therapy before, and
Yeah.
my other therapist, she was cool, but you know, like
Yeah.
you gotta like it's like having a therapist is like having a relationship with somebody, like with anybody.
Big facts.
You know, so
Yeah.
like you got to be able to connect with them, and they got to be able to connect with you in a way that is like it's beneficial to both of you guys. You know.
Well, they're gonna win regardless because they're gonna.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But it's like you want that experience when you talking to a therapist that it doesn't feel like they're just there for the money.
Yeah.
And like you actually have a good, genuine relationship with them.
And they actually care.
They actually care.
Got you. So yeah, let's keep moving forward in the story.
Yeah.
Like how you were a reader as a kid, a big reader. People keep saying that. So
Right. Yeah.
lead us. Keep getting us on the journey.
To this journey?
Yeah, to how we got to.
So
you getting the podcast.
So I literally like throughout the years I just kept on with school. I was a straight A student.
Nice.
I used to just stack up on awards, man. I was always coming home with some type of trophy or certificate or something like that. Like my granny got all of them. I gave it to my granny. I gave some to my mom. And my granny, like she puts everything up on the wall and stuff like that. So
That's my baby.
yeah, that's my granny. Shout out my granny, man. And just all the way up into high school, I was at Paramount High School. That's where I went to. And the situation in Inglewood, I ended up coming across some blood members, and it got to a point where my mom was like, "All right, you gotta
go.
we gotta get you out of here." And that's when she sent me to Barstow. Barstow,
Big
California.
change.
Oh, like a motherfucker. Like you go from the city to Barstow is crazy. So I ended up moving to Barstow halfway in my sophomore year in high school.
Okay. What year you think this is?
This was 2006. This is literally January, February 2006.
Okay.
And she sent me out there. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, I'm literally in the fucking boonies. Like, this is crazy. Why is anybody... Like, my mom make the joke about my granny, because my granny is always up moving too. She was like, what makes somebody just move to Barstow? Like, you just driving like, la, 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 la. Oh, this would be a good place to set up shop. Like,
So
so
anybody
anybody
place
know...
to open up a tweak factory?
Right. Anybody know anything about Barstow? It's literally a desert town. It's like a truck stop on your way to Vegas.
Yeah.
Literally, it's one high school, like a couple middle schools. The mall is Walmart. Like, it's a very small town. So I ended up going out there, and I was supposed to, I got accepted into like 11 different universities.
Cool.
And I was like, I want to go to a HBCU.
Okay, interesting.
So I was going to go to Tuskegee. So I got accepted in Tuskegee. I really wanted to go to Howard.
Is that in Alabama?
Alabama.
Damn it.
Yeah. You got it. See? So literally, I wanted to go to Howard. That's the one school I didn't get accepted into. I'm still confused by that. I had like a 3.75 GPA in high school.
They're like, he's from Barstow? We don't want him.
Right. I was like, man, come on. So I didn't end up getting into Howard. So I was like, all right, well, Tuskegee was the only other HBCU that I had like applied to. And so literally I was about to go to Tuskegee. But the only reason I didn't go is because we didn't have the money for the out-of-state enrollment fee.
Oh, so it wasn't like a full ride scholarship or anything like that?
No.
Gotcha.
So it was just like, okay, like we don't got the money. So I was like, where could I go where it's like I'm still fairly close to my mom and my grandma. My mom was living in LA at the time. My granny was in Barstow.
Okay.
So I was just like, I guess I can go to Cal State San Bernardino. Like it's right in the middle of both, so I can see my granny when I need to. I can see my mom when I need to. And I was familiar with San Bernardino because I did come out here a couple of times in middle school. I went to Arrowview. I went to Arrowview and I went to Del Vallejo.
Okay.
So I went to both of those schools. So, but I was like, I'm familiar with San Bernardino. My granny used to live off Magnolia and Sierra Way. So that's literally where, so I like cool. Went there, joined a fraternity, did videos, and and made a name for myself.
Got you. What did you learn from being in a fraternity? What's one of the biggest takeaways you got from being in a fraternity?
Yeah, this shit is way bigger than yourself.
The fraternity is
just life.
Oh, okay.
Things are it's way bigger than you. Like when you are part of a collective and other black men at that. Because I joined Phi Beta Sigma, which is the historical black fraternity. It's part of the Divine Nine. So
What was the name again?
Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated.
Gotcha.
So like when you join a group of other black men, like who are also trying to, make things happen, other entrepreneurs or like just people that's in different fields, and you join this network of men across the world. Like we got chapters all over the world. So, you just get to just experience life in a way that's like no other just regular person will be able to. Like you get access to just different things. Like you go to certain, like literally when I came to San Diego one time, like just by way of me being a Sigma man, saw another Sigma man. And one of the things we always learn is like, when you see a Sigma man, you always make sure you take care of each other. Even if you don't even know that man. Like you've never seen or talked to this man a day in your life, but you see those letters, respect,
Okay.
So you just get into certain doors, like certain opportunities that probably not other people would get because you are a Sigma man. So that's just kind of like how it is. But just all in all, like it's brothers, like it's really brotherhood.
Got you.
Like, even if you fight, you don't get along with some people sometimes, like that happens. But at the end of the day, like I got your back.
Period.
That's what it is. So,
Ooh.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Continue.
So I made my name at Cal State and just doing like by way of like one of the parties. I was always known as the funny dude who did videos, parody videos and stuff like that. So I was on YouTube just doing just random shit like,
This is like 2010?
Yeah, like 2010 and up. Actually, yeah, Ashy Ass Knees was one of the first ones I did, but I did a couple videos in '09. I used to work in a student union. So I worked as the videographer for the entire student union. Like
Got you.
my time at Cal State.
That was a paid gig, no, right?
Man, that was my first job.
Wow.
My first job was being a videographer for the student union, and I got that job because of Ashy Ass Knees. So literally, they saw the video. My homeboy Antonio, Sean Antonio, he recommended me to them. He was like, "Yo, you guys gotta see this video." Showed the department, the marketing department, Cal State San Bernardino, and they literally was like, "Find him, we gotta hire him." This is the funniest shit in the world. Like I'm like, I got my first job because of Ashy Ass Knees, like a video called Ashy Ass Knees. And when I did videography for the school, I was like, oh, I could do this. I could really do this, or just something with media.
Yeah.
Something with media. I never thought it would turn into podcasting, but long story short, I ended up graduating from Cal State in 2013, and entire family showed up. Like, everybody was there.
In drones.
Right. And I purposely only did black graduation. I didn't do the actual commencement.
Oh, interesting.
I was like, I don't want to sit here in this 5-hour ceremony with a bunch of people who I don't know. And I didn't experience it. Like, I was really engulfed with the black community at college. I was really involved mainly with the black people, So when I did black grad, it was like, these are all the folks who I've been around this entire time, and their families and stuff like that. So it meant more to me was just to do black grad, and had a blast, and then my life just kind of like went to shit.
Okay. The good part's coming, I guess.
Yeah. So graduated. Literally, I was telling you off mic about like my cat had like gave birth to like 4 or 5 different kittens the morning of my graduation. But I ended up losing the place that I was living at. I was about to get evicted. I lost my job. I lost my car.
Got you.
So much happened like 2 months after I graduated. Like it literally like, all right, you graduated, life is about to happen.
One after the other.
Right after. So like I was literally like homeless. My girlfriend at the time just broke up with me. Like I felt like a damn failure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
with the degree.
Just literally just got a degree and felt like literally at the bottom of the totem pole. And I'm in debt, college, financial aid and all that stuff. So I was like, all right, I got to regroup. I did not come all this way for this to be my story. You know? So I stayed with my mom for a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna move to San Diego. Just randomly, I just thought about it. Like, cause I've been there a couple times before, and I remember when I went out there, like it always just felt like I'm supposed to be here.
Oh, beautiful.
Like, it just felt like, it just felt like me.
Like this is where I'm supposed to be.
Record stores all over the place, nice weather, expensive as hell. But
that part.
I'm supposed to be here.
Okay.
And literally,
I love it.
Yeah, I said I was gonna do it, and I did it.
Just picked up and left one day?
I found a couple cousins, cousins who I don't really talk to anymore, but I didn't really talk to at the time either, but found out that they lived in San Diego, and I was like, and they were like, yo, you can stay here for like a couple months while you like get on your feet, whatever. And one of my friends at the time was living out there. I was like, okay, like I can try to figure it out. And came out there, and then that's when I found out I had a son. And that's when
found out you had a son?
I found out I had a son.
Oh shit! So it was just dropped on you.
Like I'm telling you, like my life just like I don't even want to say like me having a son like that was like part of my life with the shit, but it's part of like the war, like literally like Ron Isley. What the hell is going on?
Yeah,
like literally, I didn't know what was happening with my life. It was just like, well, where's all this coming from?
That part,
and and
is that like a phone call? How does that even happen?
It's essentially, it's a phone call.
Okay.
Well, it was a text message first.
Oh, dear
that
God.
led to a phone call.
Okay.
Wow. And yeah, like I knew that at that particular moment I had to make adjustments fast.
Yeah.
Because he was born.
Got you.
He was alive. It wasn't a pregnancy call.
Got you.
It was
Got you.
Here.
So she was pregnant for 9 months and you got no word during that whole time?
No, we did. We talked. We talked the entire time she was pregnant.
Okay, but she didn't tell you she was pregnant.
No, I knew she was pregnant.
You knew she was pregnant.
We didn't think it was my kid though.
Even better.
But and that's me and her, like we're solid. You know what I mean? Me and my kid's mom, we're super solid. But it was just like one of those things that it was just like it was one of those real like what the
fuck? Yeah.
Like
I'm assuming you did a DNA test?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I did a DNA test. It was 99.99999.
It was like,
that was my baby.
It's your baby. He got your eyes. Mikey's got your eyes.
Right. But it was just one of those things that, it can happen, and it happened to me. And, it's just one of those moments where I was like, all right, I gotta step up to the plate. Like, because I grew up without my dad. So it was like, okay, this is interesting. I just moved to San Diego. Mm-hmm. Now I got this new kid who is in San Bernardino. And like, how do I make this work?
Yeah, that part.
So my thought process was I'm gonna have to move them out to San Diego. I'm not moving back to San Bernardino. I just got out here. Like I'm literally like I got my carne asada tacos, you know what I mean? Like I'm chilling.
Yummy.
Right, but I didn't have a place of my own at the time.
Okay.
So I was just like, okay, I gotta really get on my feet, and I ended up applying to be a college advisor.
Okay.
And I ended up getting the job, and I was like, oh shit.
Wow. What's a college advisor?
A college advisor. So basically, like it was an online school at the time.
Kind of like a guidance counselor?
Kind of.
Okay.
But it's like you're like assisting with like the scheduling and stuff like that with their classes. You're making sure that their degree plan is exactly where it needs to be. Like, making sure like, you failed that class, you need to retake this class, and this is not available to this time. It's kind of like being the spokesperson to them as they go through their whole college degree.
Cool.
So it's kind of like a guidance counselor essentially.
Okay.
And that's actually what I do now, but I do it for a different university. So, so I got the job and found an apartment, cool apartment, moved them out. And like you were saying about like men are not supposed to complain. They're supposed to just like complain to other men and just like figure things out. Mm-hmm. That's why I just had to do it in that moment. Like I couldn't complain about it. I had to make something happen. Like literally like their entire existence kind of depended on me just that fast. Mm-hmm. So we end up getting together. I end up trying to be the family man,
playing house, as they say.
Essentially, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, man, let me try to do this the right way, And, you know, when you try to force things like that, like it's probably going to fail. So her and I didn't.
At least you tried.
I tried.
Yeah.
The one thing I can say is I tried.
Yeah.
And it put me into, I didn't realize how much of a depression it will put me into.
Oh, wow.
Like, because everything was happening so fast and I couldn't keep up, so to say. Like, it was just so many life events that were just so big that was just happening. And then while he was a baby, she's pregnant again. I got a daughter coming.
Holy shit.
like
Holy shit. He can't control himself, folks. My goodness. The num is so numb. Numb the mind.
Yeah.
Yum
So
num.
all of this is happening, and then I just had to take a step back, and we didn't, you know, we broke up, and she moved back to San Bernardino, and I stayed in San Diego for a little bit, but I was like, damn, I gotta move back to the Dino.
Oh, damn.
And I ended up moving back to the Dino.
Because she probably took the kids with her, probably.
She took the kids with her.
Yep,
and
there it is.
It was that day. I was like, the kids can stay with me. And she was like, that's not about to happen. And I was like, why not? You know, all this stuff. But he's like, you, as a dude, you just don't fight it. Like, it's some things you can fight, but some things, like when it comes to the kids leaving, some shit you just can't fight. So that was one of the hardest days of my life. Like her getting in the car and the kids, like literally, I seeing that car drive away.
Yeah.
That, like, really, I didn't know how to live at that particular moment. I didn't know how to exist without my kids being at the house. Mm-hmm. You know, so I ended up moving back to the Dino. I had to start over. I was working in warehouses. I was doing Uber Eats.
Oh, you had to leave your college advisor job.
Well, I got laid off.
Oh.
I got laid off. They literally were transforming their entire system, and they were moving the campus to Chandler, Arizona. They were like, either you can move here to Arizona and keep your job, or it's deuces.
Got you. Well,
And,
warehouse work it is.
So they cut me off, and I went back to San Bernardino and literally started from scratch. I ended up working warehouse job, throwing boxes, Uber Eats. I applied to all these different jobs, college degree, all this. You know, it just felt like a fucking waste. You know?
We know about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
And at some point, you know, I was here for 2019 to 2022. So I was back here for like almost 3 years.
Wow.
Like 3 years. And COVID happened while I was out here, and just so much shit, man. It was like, it just felt like a whirlwind. And then I said, stop. Literally, I just said, stop. I'm about to do something about this shit.
Got you.
Like,
you grabbed the bull by the horns.
Grab
the bull by the horns.
This is too much. Like, so I literally just told my kid's mom at the time, I was like, I'm moving. I'm going back to San Diego.
Got you.
That's where I was happy. I didn't get the experience in the way that I thought I was going to, because so much shit got thrown on me, like right when I moved out there, that I was like, I'm trying it again for a second time.
Got you.
I'm gonna do it my way.
Got you. It's, you know, it's interesting. It seems like, I don't want to say it this way, but in San Bernardino, it kind of feels like the things are not stacking up in the right way. Mm-hmm. But in San Diego, you're able to thrive. Mm-hmm. That's what it kind of seems like.
It was
you
a space. I mean? It was like I said, when I went out there the first time, or before I moved out there the first time, I felt like I was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Like the people, the energy out there were just like, this is me. It just felt like me. And like when you're out there, I was able to do things more for myself because it felt like I was supposed to be there.
Gotcha.
When I was in the Dino, like definitely no shade to the Dino, because I love my Dino people. I love the city. But I never felt like I was supposed to be in San Bernardino. Like, you know, and it's like sometimes San Bernardino can feel like a black hole sometimes.
Okay.
You know?
Like it just...
Like, yeah.
Emptiness, darkness.
It's just like some of the opportunities are not as present.
Got you.
Know?
Yeah.
So it was just like, okay, I got to do something. And I applied to this job. They were hiring shout out my homeboy James. He sent me a link. He was like, because he lived in San Diego. He was like, yo, you should look into applying for this job. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I applied for it. It was for the student advisor position for the school, working with business students. So I was like, I don't got no damn business degree. What the hell? Like, you know, like, what? But I did advise some business students at the other school.
True.
You know, so I had like familiarity with it. So I just applied, and I literally got a phone call while I was delivering Chick-fil-A.
Dope.
Literally called from the school, and he was like, hey, is this Mike Sessions, whatever? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I want to interview you for this position at the university. I ain't gonna say the university, I don't want y'all looking for me.
Yeah. Find him, folks.
But yeah, and I literally pulled the car over. I did a phone interview on the side of the road.
Oh,
with
wow.
somebody's hot Chick-fil-A just sitting in the passenger side. Did the whole interview, and literally he was like, all right, I want to do a second interview. Can you be available for this day, whatever? So long story short, I ended up I ended up getting a job. I was like, fuck. Told my girlfriend, we just got together at that point. I was like, let's move to San Diego. And she was like, okay. She was working. She was working from home.
Oh, dope. Okay.
So she was like, all right.
This is in 2022?
This is 2020. This is like November, December 2021.
Okay.
So it was like, all right, well, we gotta move. So I was working from home while I was figuring out the job first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found an apartment out there, beautiful apartment.
Dope.
Moved out there, and then the
Dope.
rest is history. And I was able to bring my kids with me.
Perfect.
It just worked out that way, you know.
Yes. And did you already? Because the podcast has been going on for 3 years. You said now.
Oh yeah, and the podcast was happening. Okay, yeah, the podcast was happening during this time.
Okay. What made you start it?
I was supposed to have started this podcast years before I even did it. It was supposed to be me and the homies.
Mm-hmm.
You talk with the group chat with your friends, your boys, and all these ideas come up. And I was like, this is what I do often. Like where you just you sit with people, you just have dialogue about all different type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was a big fan of the Joe Budden podcast at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still a big fan of it, but like I just love just the playing the music and laughing, talking shit. Like I was like, man, this is like literally that's what I do with my friends all day, every day, And I'm like, I think I know some people that can do this with me, and I try like a couple different people. I was like, it's not gonna work if we do it. Like nobody's gonna be consistent or just like personality wise. I don't know. I don't think they would care about it as much as I would because I'm into media. So
Got you. Do you think different personalities they'll clash?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like it's I don't know. Like some people just like in theory it sounds good, but it just be like they ain't going,
Okay.
So I started it. I was like, it was about to be me and this other guy. And then I was just like, I'm about to just do it myself. Why
Okay.
don't I just start the shit myself and I can make it about kind of like it initially started as me kind of like just talking about my upbringing and stuff like that and how everything started. And then the second season I brought in a co-host. So it was one of my frat brothers, one of my boys, and it really took off after that. Like after season 2, like just the personalities matched. It was like we were perfect on the mic together. You know what I mean? And like slowly but surely, like that dissolved, and then I had to go back to being by myself. And so I'm 7 seasons in, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's just like it's therapeutic for me.
Definitely. 100%.
Like, it's therapeutic. I have to get this. Like I have to get a lot of this shit off me.
Yeah.
It is the best format for me. Like I know people say like a lot of these. You see all these toxic male podcasts, like all these hyper like alpha male podcasts where they just sit there and they just shit on women all the time, and they're like, that's not my platform at all. I like to, like I said, I like to play music on it. Mm-hmm. I like to talk shit. I like to bring in different people from different walks of life. Because the main theme of the podcast is everybody has a story.
Yeah.
So why not tell your story over a nice, dope ass soundtrack?
That part. How did the name come about?
The original name of it was gonna be something stupid. I think it was like the fourth side of the story, some shit like that. I don't know. But it was like a list of names, and I like I said, it was about to be me and this other guy, and we went through this whole like list of names, and then If I Let You Tell It was literally like on it, because it was just like, how do we like create a name for a podcast where it's like you let people say whatever the hell they want to say. Mm-hmm. Like if I let you tell it, like things like this, you know what I mean? It was just kind of like that, and you just let people kind of like tell their side of things, and that's your truth, I suppose.
Got you.
So, everybody has, like I say, everybody has a story. So it kind of goes along with that. And If I Let You Tell It, it just sounded like something that I probably wanted to listen to. So that's kind of what the name we went. It wasn't really that big of a decision. It was just like, all right, yeah, let's go with that. And then just took off.
It's stuck, right?
It's just stuck, literally. Yeah.
You know, I guess it's my turn to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Because you said there's a lot of podcasts that talk about like hating on women.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a lot of podcasts that involve women hating on men?
Absolutely. There's a lot of that shit. It's actually kind of like like I said, even when I was a kid, like I try to be very careful with the things I consume on a day to day. That's like with Twitter, Instagram, or X, whatever they call it now.
Yeah.
But, like I try to really like be careful of the things I allow into like my mental space.
Yeah.
I don't like watching reality TV shows and none of that stupid shit. Like 'cause it's just it's like what? Like, why are we doing this? You know? So even with podcasting, it's so many different types of platforms. It's platforms for everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Endless.
It can feel oversaturated sometimes because you'd be like, you know, like some people shouldn't have kids, some people shouldn't have mics.
That part.
You know
I like to say that the best part and the worst part about the internet or social media is that everyone has something to say.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the internet now has given everyone an opportunity to say whatever they want, but everyone shouldn't be saying everything.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to like, what did someone say? They said, hey, you know, you're talking like, shut the fuck up. That's stupid. Like, but now no one can say, shut the fuck up.
Right. You can't even say that anymore.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I could just post. Was that a good idea? It doesn't matter. I'm going to say it anyway.
Right. It's just like, how do you cut through the noise? Like, how do you be innovative in your approach to whatever you're doing with podcasting? Like, you can't just get in there and just keep saying the same old thing that everybody else is saying. Like, how do you be true to you, but also be compelling? You know?
Okay.
And that's the hard part about it is because ultimately, I think I'm interesting to a point. But I was like, I don't want to assume that I'm like so interesting. So I don't approach my podcast that way. Like that's why I like to let other people, like I just go by what their energy is, you know?
Yeah.
And like I said, if I could just do a podcast where I just play songs all day, if I could just DJ the entire time,
basically,
I would be happy, you know?
you might, I think we're talking about a different type of podcast now.
Right.
You can have two. A lot of people have two.
I can, but it's like, that's also the beauty of this show is like, I created it so I can do whatever I want with it. If I decide tomorrow that I just literally just want to just play music, and that's it, I can do it. You know.
But would you lose some of the fan base if you did that?
Probably, but I always feel like the people who like certain things, they're going to gravitate towards.
I got you.
So you might lose these people, but you're going to gain these people. You know.
True. Yeah.
So and I've learned that even with podcasting is don't get so caught up in numbers, don't get so caught up in like. Trying to appeal to certain things, like just be you.
Yep.
And the people who are supposed to be there is the people who are going to like your shit is going to show up.
Period.
Whether it takes years or whatever, like just be consistent and it will happen for you. Like, you know, so I drop every week. I've been dropping every week for the last 3 years, you know?
Nice.
And it's worked. Like it's literally it's being shown that it works. So like, why would I stop? Yeah, you know.
Yes, sir.
Like that's just kind of what it goes down to. You know, be consistent, but also loving what you do too.
It's important.
Like
it's important.
Like this shit. Like I like genuinely like doing. I like sitting down. Like getting to know somebody, getting to meet somebody for the first time. You know.
Yeah.
And building that network of stuff. You know what I mean? And just other people who are doing similar things too. You know, it just. It's just cool. Like I said, I've been through a lot in my life, and it feels good that I could just chill at my crib and just like, and literally just fucking talk shit on the microphone.
Got you.
And just have fun. Like, you know.
Do you do filming at home? You film at home?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice.
Yep. Yep.
I wanted to ask, like, do you have a YouTube channel for this page?
I used to.
What happened? Why'd you take?
The reason I took it down is because I play a lot of music on
I was gonna ask, it's the music that is like copywritten, right?
They used to take all my shit down. That's actually why it's not on Spotify.
I was gonna ask the same question. Same thing for Spotify, because you use other people's music.
They was ripping my episodes down.
What happens when you start using that music? What does it say? It's like copyright infringement.
Essentially, yeah. They were just like, you're playing songs, you're not supposed to play them, yada yada. But you know, you try to find like different ways around it. It's like weird rules, man. It's just like when you start a show, I think something on YouTube is like the first 3 minutes you're not supposed to curse on your show or something like that.
Oh, that's
like,
interesting.
It's like certain like little things that people don't know about, but
Interesting.
that you get flagged, like, or you're easily found if you do things a certain way.
Got you.
You know, so like I was like, I don't want to go through this hassle, and I love playing music, so that's why Patreon works. You know,
You can do whatever you want on Patreon.
Oh, absolutely. So essentially, that's what I do on Patreon. I get to upload full episodes, and they don't take nothing down. And and the video versions of the episodes are all up there for free. So just like you can listen to it for free on whatever device, like you're able to watch them for free as well. So for those of you guys listening, definitely tap into that Patreon. And yeah, it's just cool, man. Like, it's just cool to be able to just sit and just do what you like to do, and be as creative as possible. So that's essentially like what I'm going to continue to do. And yeah.
Yeah, I think Patreon's really cool, and I guess there's something that you mentioned earlier, which was like finding the balance between being yourself and being like, I guess like entertaining, quote unquote.
Right.
And I think, in my opinion, I think it's kind of like, and I agree certain extents with certain people. Like sometimes you kind of like gotta like 3x your natural personality when you're on the camera or something like that. But I'm also kind of a component where it's just like, I think I'd rather just be myself. It's just easier.
It's way easier.
And then people can, if they fuck with you, they fuck with you. And to be honest, I think, and I believe this in everything in life and artistic wise, it's like, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. I don't think everyone who has a podcast is meant to be a podcaster.
Right.
I guess. And I think that's for everything in life. Like,
Right.
And some people are and some people aren't. But luckily you can basically podcast about anything. But what are you podcasting about? And, you have a title for your podcast called like, what was it? A music podcast focused on everything but music.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I guess you kind of clarified earlier, but your focus is, what is your focus if it's everything but music? A music podcast is focused on everything but music.
Right, yeah, because that essentially goes into what I was saying. Like, I want to play music. Like, I want to just play music on the pod.
Yeah.
But essentially, like, it's literally like bringing people into a space that like, I just learned so much about other people by way of just sitting down and like put people in certain situations. You see how they react. Like, I always love observing people.
Okay.
So
give us an example about situations.
For example, like I have like family members who've been on the podcast before. I know who my family members are. Like, I've been around them my whole entire life.
Yes.
But I would have never thought that I would ever see like a family member like in front of a microphone talking, like, so like to put like my auntie or my cousin or whoever, like put them in front of a microphone and just seeing how that translate into like an episode, like it's just always interesting to see what they will say in front of a mic and what they will say off the mic.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Like, didn't you have, I think, a cousin and an auntie on? I think either like the last episode of season 6, I believe it was.
Yes.
And I think one of them was like, I need to date a Cancer because Cancer is basically feminine and I'm masculine and I can't be with a masculine man.
Shut up, Sean.
Am I sounding pretty accurate about that?
Yeah, that's definitely my cousin Sean. Yeah, like, it's just funny, like when you see the shit that people say in front of a microphone.
Yeah.
But I've also seen people who like talking like crazy prior to the episode or like off the mic, and as soon as that mic is hot,
like a mouse,
it's like trying to pull teeth, like trying to get them to say anything. It's just interesting, just the dynamic. And there's been some people who I thought were gonna be like, I don't know about this episode. I don't know if this person's gonna be that compelling. End up blowing just going crazy on the episode. Amazing show.
Got you.
Like, and you just be surprised by certain things.
Facts. Like they say in Forrest Gump, life like a box of chocolates.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Like, you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, I just, like I said, with this podcast, like I love making people feel comfortable. You're coming into my home. you know.
Yeah,
So that's even in itself, it's a big risk because my girl would be like, oh.
Yeah, who you bringing to my house next?
Yeah.
I personally, I couldn't do it. I was like, I can't bring strangers to my house.
Yeah.
And I guess it's probably a little bit different vibe in San Diego than out here.
Right.
But yeah, I just was like, to
It's
me,
tricky.
it's a sacred. Your home is your sacred space, and so
Yeah.
you're allowing people into your sacred space. But go ahead.
It's tricky, but it's like at some point I do aim to, have like my own studio or something like that, but like right now, like this is what works. Like it's just, and it's like, I think it also just helps with the vibe of the show
Got
in
you.
itself.
People could be comfortable.
People get the, don't wear no shoes in my house. You walk in, have your socks on, make sure your toes are done if you're gonna have your feet out.
Got you.
You know,
make sure your toes are done. Give them a heads up. Hey,
No, don't wear no shoes in my house.
Yeah.
And it's my lady's house too, so be respectful. So, and I don't know, it's just a different type of vibe, and it just works for the feel of the show in itself. People come to get comfortable. We have just, we get some little drink, whatever, and whatever drink they want to have. And if they don't drink water, whatever. So it just get comfortable, let's chill, and let's get to the bottom of whatever like your story is.
And it looks nice. Like the layout looks really nice.
Just me in my living room,
It looks nice though. Yeah, it looks nice.
So yeah, the show, like I said, man, the show it's me, man.
Yeah.
It's literally me, and it's one thing I think about podcasting is you might be able to relate to this. Sometimes you like look back on some episodes, you be like, why did I say that? Or or just like, damn, that wasn't me at my best. It's just like some things like, ooh, I should have edited that. But what I've also learned is fuck it.
Hey.
Fuck it, man. Because it's just, some people ain't gonna like it, some people gonna like it. That's where you really kind of get into that fucking mentality.
True.
It's like, man, it is what it is.
True.
And nobody really cares that much.
Yeah, probably more so ourselves than anybody else, right?
Right, yeah.
You have all these people come to your house, between like friends, artists, and family. How do you decide what guests to pick to come onto your platform?
That is an excellent question. Normally is most of the people who have been on the show has been people who I've known already.
Okay.
I've met either through college or I've met just in some form of walk of life. I've always found them to be interesting to some degree, funny, or just like, yo, you'll be good for a podcast. There are some people who I really want on the show, but I really know their backstory, and I'm like, I don't ever want to feel like I'm trying to exploit anybody. It'd be like some people who I'm just like, yeah, they're interesting, but I don't want to. Hey, come on my podcast and talk about that dark shit from your past.
Gotcha.
But it's just like,
give us an example.
There are some family members who I think will be good guests, but I just know their story all too well. That just like, if you decide you want to come on the show, hit me up. But I really like to maintain the relationships I have with people and not feel like I'm out here trying to go viral,
I got you.
And yeah, I mean, that's as far as like choosing guests, man. A lot of times people hit me up,
True. Can I give some advice on that family thing?
What?
Because you say that you're waiting for them to hit you up, right? But they're probably not thinking about that. But their story, and I think you should probably have like a off-camera one-on-one with them.
Yeah.
But say, hey, I think your story could actually probably help somebody go the right way, help someone relate, and figure it out. And in my opinion, I think it might be more successful and beneficial if you reach out to them and say, hey, I think your story could help somebody.
Right. Yeah.
And obviously, I'm family, so I'm not going to come at you maliciously as someone on CNN would.
Right. Yeah. And also, I'm the only person in my family that's doing some shit like this. Yeah. So it's like I have a platform that these voices will probably never be heard. Yeah. So, and I think a lot of some of my audience, like their favorite episodes are the one I brought my mom on.
Okay.
And I brought my dad on.
Okay.
And once you kind of hear them speak, you kind of get to know me a little bit better. You get to understand Mike a little bit better, by way of hearing what they say. But also just like I said, I have like this whole booking system, and I normally hit people up like a month or two in advance.
Okay.
So like I'm normally like booked out already, like like right, was October right now, so yeah, I already got like episodes booked for like December.
Nice.
You know,
That's
so
a good sign.
yeah. So it's just like you want to be proactive, especially because I live in fucking San Diego. So a lot of people that I do know and that I have on the show, they don't live in San Diego. So
Okay.
they got a plan for it. I'm about to drive out there. I'm about to do this and that. So I'm actually taking an approach now where I'm kind of getting away from just having people on that I know. And now I'm doing more of I want to interview artists and business people or people maybe even bring in like a local politician or something like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like just kind of like really expand the nature of this show to where it's
Okay.
like still keep the feel of it, like play music, keep people like bring people to like down to earth. You know, like yo, we chilling. I don't care who you are, what you doing. In this space, we are literally just kicking it.
I like it.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
just like literally like just I like to if you got 80,000 followers, I want to make it to a point where you feel like you only got like 300 and you just like a regular ass person just sitting on the couch talking.
Just chilling. Just chilling. You know, and you said you had guests on that off mic they're one way and on mic they're different, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
And you know, you say you drink on the pod. I don't know if you guys puff or do anything else.
We
But
done all of that shit.
got you.
Yeah.
So has that helped with people's comfortability on the
yeah.
mic? And have you seen a change when they do that?
Some people shouldn't drink on a podcast.
Okay.
Me, sometimes I have to stop myself because sometimes I'll be like, oh, I took a little bit too many shots for that episode, you know? But people for sure, like you got to put people in a space that's comfortable for them. So if a person is like, yo, I smoke, all right, smoke. You know what I mean? Like whatever. Like it's not that big of a deal, but it's like liquor definitely has loosened a lot of people up, but some people a little bit too much.
Got
to the
you.
point where it's
Got
like,
you.
I'll be always saying, yo, I can edit whatever you need to say out. Just let me know. But be careful, man. I don't want to edit. Like I want to actually kind of go through this whole thing and be like, all right, that was a good episode. I don't feel like I need to go back and change anything.
So you don't have to do much. You don't do much post production.
I try my best to, in real time when I'm recording, to kind of like edit in real time.
Oh man, how fun!
You know? And
Yeah,
I don't
post production sucks.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how much post production, like that shit is so much work.
Yes.
So I try in real time while I'm recording to just take a lot of pressure off myself and just be like, all right, man, I have a format of the way I go. You know, like I know I start off with 3 songs. I have the thing, I read the purple book to them. You know, I do my intermission and I do my outro. And in those blocks, this is what we're going to talk. I already have my topics laid out. So I have a format. I have a system. So it's just like I'm used to the system. So it's like once it gets to post-production, I'm like, oh, I remember I do timestamps. If I'll be like, oh, I'm probably going to edit that part out. I'd like just put the little timestamp down.
Okay.
So I know when I get back to post-production, I know exactly where it's at. Take that out.
Good to go.
Never existed.
So for 2 things. So for people who don't know, what's the purple book?
Oh, man. Yeah, the purple book is it's this astrology birthday book. And my girl is really into astrology. And I got it for her one day. And it's just always funny to read it to people, like, because it may be so off of who they actually are.
Yeah.
But it became this thing where people literally come to the show and be like, you gonna read that purple book to me, right? You know, like they want the purple book. And it kind of like taking on its own like life, you know, and so I'll just read the purple book to them. Like, all right, here's the infamous purple book. You know, I'll bring it out and people love it. You know,
It's basically become like a segment for the show.
yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
I guess that's where that cancer thing came in with your
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you pick your 3 songs for the show?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually have a formula.
Okay.
I've never said this before, but I'll say it here. I'm such a nerd. But so a lot of times the songs that I pick, it's normally like it's the anniversary of that song when it was released.
Okay.
But I've never said it. But like I always said I was gonna like say like much like years later. Like yeah, when I choose the songs, it's normally like no. This it's literally like it might be like a 30-year anniversary of the song being released or 25, whatever, for the album that is on that it came out. One of the songs now off the new format, I'll allow the guest to choose one of the songs. So I'll have it like when they're doing like the little booking system. I have one of the questions is what song would you like for me to incorporate in the intro? Don't make yourself look stupid because this is a reflection of you. Like whatever song you choose, But also it allows me to know what, especially if I don't know them, what vibe we're going into the show.
Okay.
So you can tell a lot about somebody by the music they listen to.
Got you.
One
of the ones that comes to I didn't cut you off, did I?
No.
One of the ones that come to my mind, I think that's on one of the recent ones, I think is Summer by Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that an anniversary for something recently?
No. Actually, yeah. Yeah. Damn, was it? Yeah. It may have been. Or my guest. No, my guest chose that song.
Okay.
My guest chose that song. That was the one with M16 on it, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah. I believe he chose that song, if I'm not mistaken. M16, I'm sorry, 16. Like if you actually didn't choose that song, but I'm trying to remember. Like, but it like those songs that I choose, it's very specific and it's like it's strategic. Only songs that it's not like that's the intermission. The intermission is I normally try to choose a song that just came out that I don't feel like nobody's talking about.
Okay.
So it's a whole formula for the songs I choose.
Beautiful. And first here on the Empire?
First time I ever said that shit. Yeah, I've never even said it on my podcast.
Boom.
Like how I choose the songs.
You've been doing this going on 8 seasons now, right?
Yep.
What have you learned from being a podcaster, and what advice would you give to people who want to start their podcast?
Oh, that's a good double part question. What have I learned? I learned a lot about myself. I actually learned that I can actually really be dedicated to something.
Okay.
Like outside of my kids was the first thing that showed me that I can be consistent in something. I always felt like I was a very inconsistent person. Mm-hmm. But I felt with this podcasting, I've learned also mainly that, everybody's not who you think they are.
There's layers.
Like there's layers to everybody, and don't be nervous to invite whoever to your show. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And everybody is just regular people. Mm-hmm. Like it's really like we sometimes see people on social media and they doing this, they doing that. Once they step into your living room and they sitting on your couch, like they kind of like walk into your world. Yeah. And you just start to see like how just regular human everybody is. Like, and I think that's what I've learned. The advice I would give. Oh man, if you got to be consistent. The only way to really flourish in the podcast space is to be consistent and to also like, don't try too hard. Like, don't try too hard to be compelling. Don't try too hard to capture audiences and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like, just do you.
Gotcha.
Do you. And like I said, be consistent. Mm. Like, I've listened to some podcasts that I didn't feel were the best of quality as far as like sound and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I listen because they're consistent. I can rely on the episode drop. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I always said, shout out Drink Champs. I love Drink Champs. It's one of my favorite shows. I always said, like, though, I was like, man, this like multi-million-dollar platform. They have all these guys. I was like, why does the mics sound like this? Like, I used to really like, it used to bother me. But they're consistent. They drop every Friday, and I know, and they have compelling guests. They have people who I want to know. Like, oh, I never knew that story about this person, mm-hmm. So it just be stuff like that. It's just, if you're going into the podcast space, try not to think so much about what other people are doing in their shows. Mm-hmm. Make your show your show. Just make it make that shit your baby and literally just have a blast, man.
Got you. Be yourself.
Be yourself. Whatever topics you're interested in, if you like politics, talk about politics.
Yeah, have a politics.
But don't get on a mic and start talking about a bunch of shit that you don't know about.
Yeah, or not truly interested in, I think.
Yeah, because it shows.
Yeah.
It shows.
I'm glad you mentioned Drink Champs because it's going to kind of connect to my another question. Because I do like Drink Champs too as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Drink Champs.
Yeah, shout out Nori and DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last episode I just recently saw was the one with Leonard Cohen.
Oh, yeah, I finished that whole
one. And I think that was just a good one because I feel like there's a lot of shade thrown on Leonard, for a while, mm-hmm. and now he gets kind of explain himself a little bit more, come from his
Right.
perspective.
Right.
The Method Man one was pretty good that I recently saw too as well.
And that Warren G episode was really good.
Really good, right?
Yo, yeah.
Man, I wish they didn't take that Kanye West one down. But in your opinion, which podcasts do you think are overrated, and which ones do you think are underrated?
Overrated. Oh man, that's funny.
He has the answer. He already has the answer. Go ahead, Mike.
There's a couple.
Go ahead. I don't want to get in trouble.
No, I don't care about getting trouble. Don't worry about that. What they gonna do? Overrated. It's some like sports players. It's some like NBA players that got like shows.
Okay.
I'm just like,
No names?
I don't really like the Pat Bev podcast that much.
Okay.
And I know that he's doing his thing, and shout out to him, you know what I mean? But you see shows that get all this acclaim and stuff like that. People like plugging it in because, you know, they are who they are and they work to where they are. But it just doesn't really click like that.
Yeah.
Now, underrated. I just hate that. I just put him, but it's like it's other ones too. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's okay. It's okay.
$1 million worth of game. All right,
Is that underrated or overrated?
overrated
Okay.
to a point. Now, the reason that they are going to always do good is because one, they are interesting, they're funny, and they always have guests on that we care about. I just personally hate podcasts with a shitload of advertisements. Like it disrupts the flow of the show. They be sitting there talking, they be like, and by the way, New Amsterdam vodka.
Okay.
I hate podcasts where I have to keep stopping and then pressing the 30-second little go forward, you know? I like to put on podcasts when I get in the shower, so I just let it run, you know?
Gotcha. So it's not so much you don't like their work, you just don't like the advertisement that's in their work.
I don't like the systems of some shows that it's just like, yo, it's not easy to listen to.
Okay.
You know? And that's one thing I really love about the Joe Budden podcast is it's literally just it's 3 hours of them just talking, no advertisements. They just get to the shit.
Okay.
You know? But I understand it, to each his own. Like, people got to make money, you know?
Yep.
Like, and for me, like, damn, I probably would do well if I had some fucking sponsorships.
That
and like,
part.
you know, like, but I also know my audience. And I think if I started, like, just cutting in the middle and just start talking about advertisement, I think they'd be like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. But underrated podcast. I listen to, like, some nerdy shit. I listen to the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast.
Cool.
Shout out Jeff. Shout out Matt. Shout out Ashley.
Favorite Marvel superhero?
Yeah. My favorite one?
Yes.
Ooh, favorite hero.
Here we go, folks.
I'm a huge Thor fan.
Okay. From the live action or from the actual comic?
No, live action. I think
Okay.
Chris Hemsworth is the perfect casting for Thor.
They did a good job.
And I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. You know, look. Shout out Tobey Maguire. Shout out Andrew Garfield. But I think Tom Holland is amazing as Spider-Man. Like, you know. But
Have you
even
seen the Spider-Verse?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that they're gonna bring Miles Morales into live action.
I think they have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have
Yeah.
to.
I think they're going to, especially with the Secret Wars coming up and everything. You know. So.
Do you think? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, keep going. Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna keep John Mayers as?
They have to.
He's such a great actor.
He's killing it. This last episode of Loki, he murdered as Victor Timely. I don't know if you saw this episode yet.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my God, I ain't even gonna say what happened, but yeah,
Gotcha.
He is. And even with him, like I feel like the energy is kind of like subsiding a little bit around that whole thing, and then I
Gotcha.
don't think they can even find a woman like she's like went on a run or something like that.
It was false allegations.
Yeah. So, but he's like, he is
so good.
extremely talented.
Yeah. Yep.
And I just think, you know, it's an unfortunate situation that whole thing happened, whatever happened, and we just still don't know what the hell happened. But I just think his role in this going forward in the MCU is just too important.
To let him go, right? And to find a replacement that could do just as good.
Nobody's gonna be able to do it the way he's doing it.
Yeah.
Like it's almost kind of like with with Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man. Like, it was the perfect casting where it's just like nobody could have done Iron Man the way Robert Downey Jr. did.
Yeah.
Like, like nobody, literally
True.
nobody. He's Iron Man.
True.
You know, like Chris Evans is Captain America. Like, that's Scarlett Johansson is Black Widow. You know, like it's the perfect casting. Now we can talk about Hawkeye. Hawkeye.
Hit him with the Hawkeye. Hit him with the Hawkeye.
We could have found a different one. You know?
Okay.
But shout out Jeremy Evans, or Jeremy Renner. I'm Jeremy Evans, crazy. Jeremy Renner. But yeah, like I don't know, like I listen to the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. I think they're very underrated. I just like little geeky shit. I listen to. I'm a big basketball fan, so I listen to a lot of basketball podcasts. Paul George got a really underrated podcast.
Oh, interesting.
Paul George's podcast, Podcast P. That shit is great.
Okay.
He had Jerry West on the damn show. Like, you got the NBA logo on your show. Like, you know. Yeah, I don't know. Kevin Garnett's show is KG certified. That show was amazing.
Got you.
So it's a lot of shows. It shows for everybody out there,
True.
man.
I got two things for you, Mike.
Yeah.
So, who's your current favorite b-ball player, basketball player, folks? And what's your opinion on the debate between Michael Jordan versus
LeBron?
Yes.
My favorite player right now, or my favorite player of all time?
Let's do both.
Favorite player right now that I love watching. I love watching Ja Morant.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I've always been a fan of guards. Like, I've never really been that big of a fan of like big men.
Okay.
But guards, like, I love guards who are just like high flyers, like dudes that get out there dunking on people. Like, Dwayne Wade is one of my favorite players ever, and I'm a Miami Heat fan, like the day I die. So, I always love seeing like the little dude that's just smashing on big dudes. Like, it's so good to watch, and like just ball handling and all that stuff. Favorite player of all time, LeBron.
Okay. So did that settle my my question between Bron and Michael Jordan?
I think that it's just different. I don't know. It's different. I think that Jordan will be able to exist in any generation. I think LeBron could have existed in any generation of basketball. But I personally didn't see Jordan like that. You know? I mean, kind of, but I was 13 when LeBron got drafted, you know?
Okay.
So, like, you know, I remember him getting drafted. I remember him being his first 7 years in Cleveland and then coming to Miami. So I remember that day, actually, because, like I said, I was a Miami Heat fan since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So that day LeBron came, I was like, what the hell? My favorite player ever coming to my favorite team. You know?
God does exist.
Yeah. So that happened, and you know, and I understand like a bunch of people being Miami fans. That shit was weird.
Yeah, you know how it happens.
Because I've only known myself. I've never met another Miami Heat fan.
Yeah,
in my
you know
life.
how it rolls though. The bandwagon.
It was so frustrating. Yeah, I was like, "Who are you people? What the hell is this?"
We've always been fans.
Yeah, I was so mad, man.
Like, where have you been,
Mike?
Mike?
That was a weird time. That was such a weird time.
Yeah, you know, my opinion on the whole thing is that I think since they're different eras, it's kind of hard to judge because different things existed, different rules, different regulations, different. So I think that's the only way because like it's different time zones. It's like you might as well just start bringing, Dr. J, you know, and is Dr. J better than LeBron? It's like or Kareem, you know, it's like it's different eras, different things existed, different. You know, like LeBron is even like his body size is completely different than any basketball player that probably existed before. You know,
he's a unicorn. And
go ahead.
I think like any era, like you're just gonna adjust what the rules are at that time. They always say like, oh, LeBron wouldn't be able to last in the 90s and the 80s because they were more physical.
Yeah.
Well, like LeBron,
do you know? Like, have you seen his size?
Like LeBron would have been okay.
Yeah.
And LeBron is a very skilled player. He don't play to like the physicality of the sport. But he doesn't have to because of how skilled he is. He's smart. He has extreme court awareness. And I think he actually gets a bad rep a lot of times. Yeah. Like they always talk about him complaining.
Interesting.
Man complaining. But I just think that's a product of the times. Everybody complains about referee calls and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it is now.
It's like you have to. Yeah, it's part of the game.
Everybody fucking complains.
Yeah, it's like shooting. It's like the big man shooting a three. Everyone's doing it now.
Victor Wembanyama, man. 7'5" out here playing like KD. That's a scary dude.
Very, I think this last season, I was watching LeBron and I was just like, he's not as athletic as he was, obviously because
Right.
time and knees. But I'm like, damn, his basketball IQ is
crazy.
tremendous.
Yeah.
Like it's tremendous. And actually, completely different topic. But is Sessions your real last name, or is that right?
Yeah.
Right? Or is it your artist name, and how'd you come up with that?
That's fucking hilarious.
Because every time I think of Sessions, I think about, okay, let's go outside and have a session,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. My name is Michael Deshane Sessions Jr.
aha.
Yeah, that's my actual name. And I used to get not clowned about it, but girls used to get mad at me about it.
Okay. Why?
They used to think I was like really cocky because I walked around and I called myself Mike Sessions, but I was like, no, that's my name.
Yeah.
They used to think I was like walking around like with a stage name. They're like, who does this person think he is? I was like, no, that's really what I do.
It's my birth name.
Right. Like, yeah, I used to do open mic nights. So I used to do poetry, like in front of people. And literally, it was like, introducing Mike Sessions. It's like, who's this guy? That's my name, guys.
Hey.
I don't know what else to say. Like, like that's really my name. But yeah, for the longest time, people thought I was like walking around with a stage name. But I was like, no, birth name, Mike Sessions. And I'm a junior. My dad's name is Mike Sessions.
Oh, you're junior?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So actually, my granddad's name is Mike Sessions as well. So it's weird that I'm actually a junior. I should have been like the third or something like that. But yeah, my grandpa's name is Mike Sessions. My dad's name is Mike Sessions.
So you're Mike Sessions the third?
I should be, but the only reason I think my grandpa's name is Michael James Sessions. So I think that's why I'm not. But
You don't have the James in there.
my name is Deshane. So Michael Deshane Sessions. My dad's name is Michael Deshane Sessions.
Oh, so you're junior. Okay.
So junior, yeah.
Deshane, I like that. It's actually kind of
Yeah.
cool.
That's what my dad goes by, Shane. So they call him Shane. And they used to call him Mike Fresh. So that's where I got the nickname Mike Fresh. I got it from my dad, because my dad's name is Mike Fresh.
Interesting.
So when I was a kid, my family used to call me like Lil Mike Fresh.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, because they knew my dad, and that's actually funny now. I never thought about this, about like my son's origin, like how I just like kind of found out. My dad found out the same way about him, about me. I mean,
Wow.
because I was conceived in Utah, Ogden, Utah, Job Corps. That's when my parents met each other. My mom's from LA, my dad's from Omaha, Nebraska, and that's where they met each other. And then I was conceived there, and then my dad went back to Nebraska. My mom went back to LA, and then, you got a son.
Gotcha.
That's actually crazy. I never thought about that in my entire life. That's weird.
Happened revelation time.
Wow.
On the Empire. That's how we do it, people.
Shout out to Empire, man. Yeah.
Wow. Like father likes junior indeed.
Yeah.
The apple doesn't
that's
fall too far from the
fucking
tree.
Crazy. Yeah. Wow. That be happening. All these type of things always happen when I'm podcasting.
Yeah, things just open. Things just open. You know what I mean?
Like,
I wanted to talk about, because you have Patreon, right?
Yeah.
And like, can you talk to us a little bit about monetization, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the process it is, your thoughts, your experiences, and other sources that you've done to try to
Make
monetize
money off the
yourself.
shit.
Yeah.
So the show in itself is free, so you can listen to it on every platform except for Spotify. But with Patreon, I have 3 different tiers. So I have a $1 tier, $3 tier, $5 tier, and depending on which tier you're in, is going to be what content you get. So the $1 tier is like people who, I call it the listeners. That's the tier, the listeners, the $1 tier. Essentially you get, I might do like some DJ mixes on Saturday or something like that and upload it. Or you can like be involved in different polls. I might put a poll up like, yo, what should I talk about this episode? Like, should I talk about this? And then you get to vote. $3 tier, I call it the homies. So the homies is literally, you get to get all of those things with the $1 tier, but you also get a bonus episode every month. So that means that's a full entire episode that regular listeners do not even get to listen to. So it's strictly on Patreon.
What's one of the bonus episodes that premiered?
I just put one out recently with my dad. I have one coming up this week. It's gonna be me and my girl, and I had the idea. I said, "Yo, let's like get on some edibles and just do a show."
Okay.
Me and my girl, and I'm like,
Was it heavy edibles?
No, we haven't done it yet.
Okay, it's coming.
We're gonna do it this week.
Okay.
But it was like, let's just get high off edibles and just like go on Patreon. just do a full episode and put it on Patreon for like the $5 tier. So the $5 tier is the special guests. So that's the people I always like to, whenever I have people on the show, I always say, it's your boy Mike Sesh, Mike Fresh, and we have a special guest. That's what I say every episode to introduce somebody. So the special guest tier is you get 2 bonus episodes every month, and you get everything from, the other tiers. But I'm also going to be bringing out merch. So I'm working on merch right now. And with the people who are in that tier, like, you most likely, like, probably either going to get some free merch or a really high discount, So it's just like, it's been people who have been, mostly people sign up for the $5 tier.
Cool.
So, because it's just like, why not? Like, if you're going to sign up for $3, you might as well sign up for $5. You know what I mean? So, and some people who just want to support. So they just, some people just, they subscribe to the $1 tier because they just take my $1 a month.
Yeah.
And with the monetization, like, I got to make some money off this shit somehow. But I try my best to use those funds, like, towards the pod. So, if I need some new equipment or something like that, like, use those
Goes
funds
back into
for
it.
Yeah, so it's just a way to invest in it. But my main plan is, like I said, at some point, I would like to get a bag, like exclusive deal, where it's like, we will host your podcast on this platform, strictly on this platform, and we'll give you I'll give you a bag for it. And that's how a lot of people, that's how a lot of people get their, their exclusive deals to get, 6 figures, to just be on one platform.
Give us your dream of that. What you would love to have knock at your door.
Oh man. I mean, I wouldn't even mind like the Black Effect Network. Like, I would like to be involved with like a network that's like created and owned by Black people.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I definitely would. I'm not opposed to like if Spotify or somebody like or Apple was to be like, yo, we want you to be a Apple exclusive podcast. Say less. You know what I mean? Like, I know the bag is gonna be there. You know, they're a brand that you can trust. So my dream is to really just, get into that space where I want a team.
Okay.
I would love to have a team. But even with having a team, it involves, you got to pay people.
Got you.
You got to have like, and I'm just not there yet.
What would you like help wise? What would you put this team at? What would you need them to help do?
Man, I would love a producer. I would love somebody who will be able to do timestamps for me.
Okay.
I would love somebody to make sure that the video is recording properly. I would like somebody to do post-production. Like shit like that. I would like to just really just be able to show up, record, and walk the fuck away.
Tell me about it.
Because I'm a one-man show. I do everything. I do the video editing. I do the video shooting. I do the audio engineering. I do the topics. I do the music. I do everything.
Yeah.
Like when the guests come over, I buy, the liquor. I buy the snacks, whatever. Like I do everything. So I
learn a lot doing this stuff.
Yeah. But then the downfall of that though is you kind of know exactly how you want things to be done. So if you do have a team, sometimes it's like you gotta trust that people are gonna do things the way you like it done.
Well, fuck, I hired you. You better do it this way.
Right. And sometimes that might be a little difficult. But I realize as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, like you're gonna end up having to step into that role where you're just gonna have to be big boss dog.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to break some hearts sometimes in what you say.
I hired you for this.
Yeah. And sometimes I could be a little bit too nice. And I realized you can't do that when you're trying to own a business and you're trying to run some shit.
Yeah. It's got to get
nice
done.
people don't get far.
No. Well, I think there's a difference between being nice and being like a pushover type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dang. Oh man, my train of thought totally went away. What were we just talking about?
Being nice and being a pushover.
Before
being
that.
a boss, having a team.
Before that. Oh yeah. How much would be a good amount of money to get paid?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because we know what you said, Apple Music or Black Effect. So, but
it's like
what's the money? What's the bag look like?
It's like I definitely don't want to undervalue myself. I wouldn't mind the 6 figures.
Okay.
Just off
999,000. I mean, it's like 99,999.
I don't mind starting at a certain, like, probably like, what I always learn is sometimes you kind of have to undersell just in the beginning sometimes.
Okay.
Just to kind of prove that, you know, you go back to the negotiation table and you proving yourself that you are worth more, you know, because sometimes some people oversell themselves, you know, or you try to get too high of a bag and then you be like, I ain't getting that, but you like, what, you haven't shown anything, like, you know, but 6 figures to start off for me, just like, that's fine. And I know that I'm very capable. I know my talent. You know, I'm very confident at this point now. I've been doing it 3 years, going on 4 years. I'm very confident in my podcasting ability.
Yes.
You know, and I wasn't always this confident because I was starting off. I used to borrow people's mics and show up to their house and record in their living room. That's how I started off.
Yeah, got to start somewhere.
Yeah, like I was literally like a traveling podcaster. Like I was going to people's houses. I'm like, yo, you don't have to drive to me. I'll drive to you. You know, mainly because I was like, nobody know this damn show. Like, you know, I'm trying to get you on my show that you don't know about.
True.
But now it's like I'm established, you know, or establishing myself.
Yeah. And you have a location.
I got a location, and people kind of know what it is at this point. So now people like look forward to it. So as far as like my value in the bag, like I don't mind 6 figures. I mean, I have a regular 9 to 5 like everybody else. You know, I clock in. I work with doctorate level students and master's level students. You
Beautiful.
know, so I'm helping them get their credentials and stuff like that. And I work from home. I work for an online school, so I get to just do shit from home. You know.
Wow.
So it's like I had a regular job like everybody else, but I feel like if I did get the bag, I probably would still work my job.
That's how much you like it?
Not even that. That's how much I like it, but it's just like until I really become that established, I feel like I kind of have to play my cards right.
I like it.
And
Smart.
keep my 9 to 5.
Smart.
You know. So.
You know, I want to say.
And the benefits too. You know.
Yeah. Hey.
Dental insurance and all that stuff. Yeah.
Got babies got to take care of.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a firm believer that going back to after you graduated, everything went to shit or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a firm believer that sometimes life knocks you down to prepare you for something better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or you know, what we think the bullshit that we're going through at the moment is actually preparing us for something better. It's just hard to realize that in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to share that with you because you probably would never imagine during that period of time that you were going through the great life that you're currently living and a much better future that even from now it's going to be like 5 years from now.
Yeah.
So I just want to share that with you, and because I see it.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like San Diego's not a cheap place to live. People.
The most expensive place in the United States.
Thank you.
They just put out that.
Yeah, thank you. And so this is coming from a man who just got his degree, was homeless, and now he's working from home, has his kids, making enough money, and able to pursue his creative endeavor simultaneously. That's a blessing. That's a blessing if I would look at it.
Yeah,
right?
And I give all praise to my mom. You know, I give all praise to my mom because, like I said, we've been through some shit like growing up, but I always saw like you lived to fight another day. You know, like you see it, and you know, and I told her that I had a baby. That Mom, I got a baby. You know, imagine telling your mom that just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And instead of my mom like going crazy and being mad, my mom was excited.
Beautiful.
And my mom welcomed my son and my kids just open arms, never questioned it. Never.
I'm a grandma now.
Yeah, she big Nana. And one day we're gonna talk about grannies not want to be called grannies. These new grannies, they like to be called Nana, Nana, and all that stuff.
Interesting.
But yeah, like
I wonder if it's related to girls when you're like, "Hi, Miss," and she's like, just call me.
Yeah.
Don't call me
I
Miss.
don't know, man. My mom, man. All praise to my mom because my mom is one of those people you see like you hit a wall, but that shit it doesn't stop the shit from going. The show must go on, you know. And yeah, I'm truly blessed. And
awesome.
That goes for you, Camille, my girl. Like learning to not complain about shit because there's too much to be grateful about. There's too much to be. Came too far. Came way too far for me to sit here and complain about my life. I'm blessed, man. You know, so I definitely receive what you're saying. You know,
gotcha. And this is not the end.
No, fuck no. We just getting started.
Just getting started.
Yeah.
It's getting started.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you mentioned on the pod, and I got to bring this up. that you don't like the productions that Swiss Beats makes. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I have been an advocate Swiss Beats hater for quite some time.
Gotcha.
No, I respect him as a musician, but I just don't get it. Like his beats are just not that for me. Like it's just annoying. Like I
Okay.
just don't like his music.
Hey, okay. Simple as that. I like it.
So each his own. I mean,
like
look,
it.
shout out him. I mean, he's been successful, but I don't like it, man. They always like after like those debates, like Swiss Beats or Timbaland or Pharrell. Like what? Get Swiss Beats in this conversation.
How did he make it? Okay. Gotcha.
What the hell? You know who Timbaland and Pharrell is? Like
Yeah.
Kanye West, you know what I mean? DJ Battle Cat, like
Hilarious.
you know what I mean? Like it's way too many artists that are producers who are just like, come on.
Got you. You know, there's a song with Alicia Keys' album, "Moment of Honesty."
Unthinkable.
Huh?
Unthinkable.
Unthinkable.
Yeah.
Right.
Amazing. That's one of my favorite songs ever.
It's a great song,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Swiss Beats produced that album.
He better not have.
I think he did,
Let me find out.
and he's actually on that track
Is he?
in the background, and so I believe so. We can double check that, but I look at that song as a confession, him and her's confession for being, for they're basically their affair. It's their confession on record for their affair.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah,
What the hell?
think about it. We're doing the unthinkable.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that changes this. I might not like that song no more. I'm joking.
It's up to you, but yeah, when I first heard it, I was like, yeah, this is their confession of them doing their infidelity together. You know, should we do the unthinkable? Yeah. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do the unthinkable.
That's actually hilarious. I never put those
All right?
things together. Wow.
Because he helped produce that album.
That is nasty work.
I like it because they're being honest and it's on record, you know? I like stuff like that. That's why I like Blurred.
I get it. But
Mike wasn't ready for that one.
like, wasn't he married or something? At the
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They're doing the unthinkable.
Oh, they're sick.
Yeah.
I can't even listen to that song the same.
Oh,
I love that damn song.
it's a
man.
good song.
That song is amazing.
But
yeah. You just ruined
you're ready-
Unthinkable for me. I did not
If
expect to
you're
come in
ready-
here and get Unthinkable ruined for me.
Oh man, I did. Well, I guess the lens has now been cleared. You can now see clearly what's going on. Yeah, listen to it. Listen
That's
to it, and listen to the
hilarious.
male background vocals. It's him. It's his voice.
I'm so mad about that.
You know, I believe you said that you're the president on your Instagram. It's like president of the R&B debate team.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're stranded on a desert island and you can only listen to hip hop music or R&B music, which one are we picking?
Which is one album?
You can only pick a genre.
Oh, R&B.
Okay.
Oh, I do not like rap.
Okay.
Like, I like some rap, you know, but I'm an R&B head.
Got you.
Yeah, I listen to R&B more than anything. Like everybody, they call me old man. Like my friends,
Okay.
they be like, because you gonna walk in, you might hear like some Anita Baker or some Luther Vandross. You know what I mean? Music Soul Child, Erykah Badu, Teddy Pendergrass. Like that's
okay.
my bag. Like I don't.
Got you.
But I like my ratchet shit too. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm a huge YG fan. You know, like I listen to Kendrick Lamar's my favorite artist next to Marvin Gaye. So
Oh, really?
yeah, like those are my two favorite artists ever.
Wow.
So yeah.
Rocking the Marvin Gaye type of beanie style right now, low key.
That's literally like that. If you see it on my Instagram, there's a picture of me holding a Marvin Gaye picture. That's what my friends that came over for my 100th episode. They came over. They gave shout out Summer. She gave me that photo of Marvin Gaye because they know that's my favorite artist ever.
Have you heard the album Here My Dear?
Yep, classic.
Do you know why he made it?
Yeah, for his wife.
It's more like a shot fired.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go in more detail why he made it for his wife?
Wasn't it like? Wasn't she about to leave him or something like that?
Yeah, it was like a lawsuit. She placed a lawsuit on him, and so basically he made an album and said, "Here you go to pay for basically for her money."
I love a good petty.
You know.
See, like, look, the more you just little shit that I for some reason I knew it was like something with the extent of his wife and shit like that. But
Yeah, I think it was like during the divorce or something like that.
that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, Here My Dear.
Yeah, my favorite Marvin album is it's a mix between What's Going On and I Want You.
Okay. Ooh,
You
I
know.
Want You. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I Want You is probably my top 3 favorite songs ever.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the extended version.
His the way he died is unfortunate, and like
Yeah, right before his birthday.
his father, right?
Yep, killed him with the gun that he gave his dad.
Yeah, there's some questionable things about that.
Yeah,
Very questionable things about that.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I'm assuming you heard Kendrick's newest album.
Mhm.
Thoughts?
Mr. Morale. It's a great album. However, it's not his best album. It's
Okay, you don't think it's his best?
probably
Okay.
his worst album.
You think it's his worst album?
In a while, but his worst album is like still better than a lot of other people's best album.
Gotcha.
You know, like so when I say his worst album, I'm saying it's like it's at the bottom of when I think about Good Kid, Section 80, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn. It doesn't compete with those. But then it's like also with Kendrick discography, you kind of have to look at each of his albums kind of like Quentin Tarantino, Martin Scorsese, like type of like films, like
Okay.
directed by the same person, but they're all their own entity. Like they all
Gotcha.
exist
They're like separate.
You can't compare Good Kid, Mad City and To Pimp a Butterfly. You can't. They're two completely different albums, you know? And I love artists like that. That's why I love Marvin Gaye. That's why I love artists like, even like Frank, Frank Ocean. Like whatever album they drop is kind of Tyler the Creator.
Okay.
Like, like he never drops the same type of album. Every album is different, completely different.
True.
So I love artists that can challenge themselves in that regard and still be true to themselves.
Yeah, that's
It's
the key.
very difficult.
That's the key.
Very difficult.
That's the
And,
key.
Yeah, but if I'm choosing the genre, R&B, man.
All day?
Every day. I'm like R&B and funk music.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm choosing R&B because I love singing.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not a singer. Don't get it,
Okay.
twisted.
We're gonna put
Don't ask me to sing, but I can carry a note. But I love singing.
Okay.
There's some good R&B out right now for sure, but it's nothing like that old shit. Like, people don't sing about love no more, and it's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. I think
Yeah, what are they singing about? Oh, I guess
it's
that's
all
what
toxic shit.
I guess that's what P. Diddy was I think that's where P. Diddy created this new album where he's like, I want love songs back.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah. And that album is incredible. But it's just like, actually, that's the last album. I cried to the album.
Which the
new one.
The new P. Diddy? Wow.
The song.
It just recently came out, right? Yeah, okay.
I haven't cried to an album since. It sounds crazy crying. I didn't cry to the album. I cried to a song.
Okay.
The song about Kim Porter. Like that actually like made me tear up. Last album that made me cry, like maybe To Pimp a Butterfly.
Okay. Back to Kendrick.
Yeah. When I heard Pac's voice at the end of the album. That I actually really shed a tear off that shit. Cause that was like, damn, he's really no longer here.
Facts. Shed so many tears.
That's my favorite Pac song. It's like, you know what I mean? Like that. Back in elementary. Yeah, like dog. That you go to my mom's house right now, you see a big ass picture of Tupac in there. You know?
You know what's crazy is that he died when he was like 25, 26.
Crazy.
Kids. We think they're grown ass men, Even basketball players, you're like, man, look like a grown ass man. Oh, you're 21?
Think about it this way. Pac's career in music was only 5 years. Biggie's was only 3.
Okay. Pac started when he was 20?
Pac first album came out, I think like 91, 92.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're not counting
Digital Underground?
Yeah,
shit?
Digital Underground. You're not counting that stuff.
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, it's like, well, he was on the same song, but sure.
We're talking
But
about
I'm
him
talking
as
about
an
like when he
artist.
dropped his first album.
Gotcha.
Like,
Tupacalypse Now is the first
Yeah.
one? Okay.
Tupacalypse Now and All Eyes on Me. He died in September 1996.
Yeah.
Yeah, Biggie died, like 7 months later, 7 months later?
Yeah. Do you think, what's your thoughts on them finding the killer, or they say they found the killer? What's your thoughts on
I
that?
did a whole Patreon episode about this.
I had.
But it was just like, it's just like the guy has been dead for almost 30 years. And it's just like, I just think they just throwing shit at the wall at this point.
It seems like it, right?
Because it's just like
Yeah.
he's been having interviews. He's been doing all of these things, like, and been admitting to different things. And, I just think all in all, it's just an unfortunate situation. We lost one of the greatest human beings this earth has ever had
Yeah.
by way of some stupid shit.
Very much so.
And
Very
that
much
also
so.
just shows us how fragile this whole shit. What does any of this shit even really mean?
Yeah.
Like we could be just be taken out.
True. Nothing's permanent. And I think, do I want to go on this rabbit hole? Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I won't go too deep about it, but I think Pac knew the contract, I'll say it that way, that he was under because he made a lot of music. So that way there would be stuff left after he was gone.
Pac wasn't scared to die. That's the main thing. Like he knew it was a big risk because of how crazy his life was. Like it was too much. Like very few people come out of all of that shit alive. I'm still surprised that Snoop Dogg is who he is today. Like the shit that he's went through and survived, like, and then to be on a show with Martha Stewart and all that, and they're giving him blunts on like Jimmy Fallon and shit. Like
that was very interesting for his birthday, the half birthday. That was very interesting.
You know what I mean? Like you just see some people get to it, like Ice Cube, like just to see even Jay-Z, like just see where people end up. Very few people make it there. You think about that shit, like the life that they lived.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
definitely Snoop's definitely a great ambassador, I think, market ambassador for what he does.
Not even that. Pac got shot like 5 times prior.
And lost a lung. Yeah, lost a lung. Yeah.
So much so that people thought that when they just heard he got shot, they thought he was going to make it. He was like a damn Marvel superhero.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this guy do not die.
It was a very sad day. I remember when he passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember what celebrity outside of Pac, like, do you remember like hearing that news and it like just shook you up?
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind, but it didn't really shake me up, but it's coming to my mind is Nipsey right now. That's the first thing that comes to my mind right now.
I cried big that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Nipsey. I remember how big it was. I even went to his like funeral they had in LA, you know.
Oh, you went?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
man.
was a big thing. You know, you see everybody out there, all races and stuff.
The day of that funeral or going away service, I literally had to leave work. I couldn't do it.
Gotcha.
I was watching it on my computer at work, and then I literally just was bawling, and I got up from my little cubicle at the time. I went to my boss and said, "I'm going home."
I can't.
I said, "Nipsey died. I'm going home."
Lost a family member. I gotta go.
I was like, I can't do this.
What do they call it when a family member dies and you get to go off of work?
Oh, bereavement.
Yeah, I got bereavement, boss. I gotta go.
Hey, using your bereavement for Nipsey Hussle is crazy.
That's awesome. I lost the blood. I mean, the crib, and
yeah, that's fucking hilarious. But
but that's the last person I can think that like really struck when they passed. That hit me. Thank you for being on the Empire, Mike. Can you tell us any current projects that you guys are working on? That you're working on?
Yeah.
Whether it's podcast or anything.
Well, that's kind of like the main priority is really expanding this podcast. You know, we got about 12 more episodes before the season wrap up. Really, the main project I'm really just working on is trying to get this damn merch out.
Okay.
You know, like, so that's been like kind of like the hardest thing is just like making sure that, because I don't want to just do anything. I don't want to just be like mad bland with it. Like, you know, I just want to be creative with it. So I've been taking my time with it, but really just expanding this podcast. You know, I work a regular 9 to 5, so you know, just if I'm not doing that, then I'm with my babies and I'm with my girl, and you know, that's pretty much like what I'm doing. But I do want to get into back into writing, so you know, writing poetry and even like getting back into filmmaking.
Okay.
You know, writing scripts and stuff like that. And I don't want to direct. I don't want to. I don't want to direct. I don't want to produce. I don't want to do none of that. Like, I just want to write a good script and just like, yo, y'all do what y'all want with that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I know I'm good at writing. My homie always told me I'm an excellent writer. So, I would like to do that, but right now I'm just taking my time and just enjoying this pod. You know, enjoying doing that, and whatever comes from that, like it'll will come, you know. So that's kind of what I'm focused on, just this podcast. If I let you tell it for you guys. So,
for the merch, what type of merch are we talking about? And what are you working on as far as the merch is going?
T-shirt, hoodies, sweats, dad hats, like shit that I normally wear.
What's a dad hat?
It was like it had kind of like a smaller brim to it.
Okay.
You know, kind of
Not a
like,
trucker hat, is it?
fuck no.
Okay.
No, it would be like, like, I don't know, it's just like this type of fits that I like to wear.
Okay.
So I'm trying to make the merch just like very authentic to me as well. Like I love like sweaters, I love like crew necks and, t-shirts. I love the color black. But like my podcast colors is like purple and orange.
Okay.
And
Like the Lakers?
I hate the Lakers.
Gotcha.
No, not like the Lakers, but I've realized even with the colors, like I try to have like a bluish, purplish type of energy in the room when we're doing a show, because
Yeah.
I've learned that with colors, it also affects mood.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to apply that to the show to bring a level of like comfortability in the room. And I think with purple and like blue is like, for me, it feels like a very vulnerable color.
Okay.
So, and the orange is like, it's kind of like just, I always do like explosions,
Yeah, yeah.
So the orange for me is just like that little fiery spirit that I like to bring to the show. So, but the merch, I want to incorporate those colors into some of the shirt
merch?
designs and the color of
Nice.
the shirts and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's just different stuff. And I want to do posters and stickers and like water bottles with like if I let you tell it on it, whatever. But really, like I got this idea of this shirt with like me on the couch, kind of like a cartoon, like it just like me just like putting my hands up like explosions,
Yeah,
like shit
Fireball.
like that. Yeah. So just something cool, and I'll have it like probably like maybe even through Patreon, so
Why not?
they got a shop option on there. So just
Dope.
figuring this shit out, really.
When
Figuring this shit out.
when would you like to have this stuff out by?
I would like to have it out by the end of November, honestly.
Okay, soon.
Yeah. So
Before the beginning of next year, you would like to have it out.
I would like to. I would like to go into like the holiday season with merch. So, that's essentially my plan. But with me, man, I try not to commit to some of these deadlines to myself, because, like I said, I be having like so much shit going on.
Got you.
And like I said, I'm a one-man show, so I do everything.
True.
So, and I gotta learn to outsource. I have to learn to start doing that, and but yeah, that's pretty much what's coming up, man. Just merch, and I would like to one day go back to having a co-host.
Okay.
I would preferably like a woman co-host.
Okay. Why?
Because I just think it's a good balance of perspectives.
Okay.
Like you have people over, and black woman, preferably.
Okay.
But somebody that's into music as well, somebody that's knowledgeable on, somebody just dope, somebody that's interesting, like somebody that's just sitting there just hates on man all goddamn day. You want to
give a shout out to one of them? You want to give a shout out to that you're looking for somebody?
Yeah. So if you live in the San Diego area, and and you're interested in podcasting, and you're a black woman, and and you're just interested in the media space, like definitely come to Death Row,
Yeah,
like, what I mean?
If you're tired of people singing in all the videos.
Right. But like I said, I need somebody that's committed. I need somebody that's going to, doing a weekly podcast is a lot for anybody, so it's a lot for me. So to be as committed as you can be, to be there every week. And I film on Saturdays. So, that's a hard ask, because Saturdays, most people day off. So, just be committed, man. So, but I'm not going to force it. Whenever it happens, it'll happen. So,
yeah, I guess we're putting it into the air, so it might be coming.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer and I had one of my Bible things popped up. This classic thing, knock, it shall be open, ask, and it shall be received.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm also a big component. Shout out to Billy Carson, which is like a lot of people complain about problems, but the real people who are about success will figure out the problems, figure out how to solve. Dealing with, like, to work and be around people who want to solve problems, right?
Yeah.
And so I think a big part of solving problems is talking about it, right? And then basically getting to it. What I also think is really cool is that you have a 9-to-5, so you can always take some of that money and put it as an investment towards the pod. So I think that's a really great thing that you got going on.
I got 4 mics, I'm still working on getting even better equipment, and like I said, I just want to get equipment and stuff where I'm making it easier on myself in the recording process. Like that's the last thing I need to be worried about is like the damn equipment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I should be really focused on just delivering a good product, but not most times, delivering a good product is also by way of the equipment that you have. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Beyond the face value, 'cause I think everything starts from the authenticity of the individual and the guest and stuff like that, and then everything else goes up. Because you can have the best equipment, but if like,
if you're not
Yeah.
interesting, it doesn't matter.
yeah, it was, yeah. Man, it sounds great, but what the hell am I listening to?
Yeah, for real though. Yeah.
You mentioned that you want to go out into writing again, right? What type of, do you have a genre that you would be interested in writing?
Oh man, my favorite movie of all time is Baby Boy. I love dramas.
Okay.
I love dramas. Like
Okay.
I love a good story. Like I love
A good drama story, true.
yeah,
Okay.
like I just love plot twists. I love
Okay.
just conflict,
Okay.
because I like to see what people will do when they're under certain positions.
Yes.
I just watched this movie on Netflix, Fair Play.
Okay.
Amazing story. Two people who are together, but they work at the same place, but the job doesn't know that they're together, and like they get like engaged, and then like the girl
Interesting.
get like promoted, like she's like his boss now.
Okay.
It's a good ass story. And you
Okay.
just start seeing kind of like how shit like unravels.
I can imagine.
So and they live together. It's just like so
I can imagine.
much, like
So like power dynamics to the fullest right there.
yeah. So I love writing good drama because where I came from, like I've seen so much shit that writing is easy to me.
Gotcha.
It's super easy.
See, and the reason why I have to ask is so that way people can know, right? And that way, like, oh, you know what? Let me just hire Mike. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need help with writing a drama.
Yeah. I'm slowly getting back into it. My homeboy, shout out Antonio Devon Johnson. He's a filmmaker, so
Oh, dope.
and he often like asks me to like, yo, can you like write a little something for like this little short that I got or something like that,
Dope.
or him out, and shout out Richard Blackshear, he's a musician out here. He would be good to have you show too. But he's the three of us. We have a group chat that's been running for 7 years. And
Wow.
He's a musician. Antonio's a filmmaker, and I'm a writer. So the three of us oftentimes like we collaborate. Just know, hey man, how much it will cost if you? And Antonio also does graphic design. So it's like
Okay.
and we've known each other for years. So it's just like, yo, could you do this for me? Yeah, cool. And we just do it off the strength, like off for free, 'cause,
Beautiful.
like, cause I know if I ever get to a point, if it's like the Oscars or something, and I'm getting an award, I'm bringing my boys up.
They
there
coming
with
up,
me.
right?
They coming up with
I
me,
gotta
man.
thank Antonio, not
Yeah.
me, but
Right, word. But I think they would do the same thing.
Yeah.
They're bringing us up, and that's just how we operate.
got you. Would there be some shade if they didn't mention your name? If they got
We definitely talking shit in the group chat for sure. But that's just like that's just it's real brotherly love.
Yeah.
It's love, man. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
you need that. You need those type of people, to keep you creative.
Definitely. And
Like,
grounded too, I bet.
and grounded as fuck. They will shit on your shit if it's not good.
Got you.
Now
We know the gentleman to talk to when we want to complain about something.
Oh yeah, talk to them. They will shit on me immediately.
Yes.
Like you know what I mean. But that's just the nature of it, man.
Yeah, it's good brotherhood.
Yeah, it's
Brotherhood,
all
friend,
love.
friend. Brotherly love. Mike, I want to thank you so much for being on the Empire, man.
Thank you, bro.
Let's say 100 years pass by, half a millennia passes by. What would you like your empire to look like? Whether it's music, podcasting, fatherhood, family, whatever. What would you like your empire to have looked like?
That guy. I want people to be able to look at everything and be like, that guy literally did everything in his power to just continue to be himself, and open the door for other creatives to be comfortable with just being themselves. Like I said, everybody has a story. Everybody has, things that they can share that will be helpful to somebody else. And that's my main goal, is to utilize my story and my upbringing and what I'm going through today to inspire and help others and show people that they're not alone. I've known way too many people who have suicidal thoughts. I've had it myself. that, yo, if you just give yourself another chance, another day, you know, you can turn this shit around, you know, and you could really make a significant impact to those that love you and those that don't know you. So that's what I would like my empire to be. I don't really care so much about money and monetary shit, but I just love the feeling of that I'm positively impacting others, you know. So that's what I would like for my empire to be, is just love by way of.
I love that. Maybe that should be a tagline: "Love by way of."
For real though. Yeah.
I like it.
Put
I
that on a
like
shirt.
it.
Hey, merch.
Boom. Write it down. Write it down in the notes. Love by way of. Explosion.
Explosion. Yeah.
Mike Sessions, thank you so much for being on the Empire, man.
Thank you, sir.
Can you please tell everybody how they could find you, reach you, support you, Patreon, everything, man? Can you please let everybody know how they can do that with you, man?
So the podcast on Instagram is If I Let You Tell It Pod, all one word. If I Let You Tell It Pod, and you can find it on Patreon at patreon.com/If I Let You Tell It. Very easy to find, and you can also subscribe to it and not actually be subscribed to a tier, so you can actually be on it for free if you like. So if you want to be a part of that community, please join. If you want to be on part of one of the tiers, go ahead and get your debit card and sign up. You know what I mean? And you go ahead and do that. You can follow my personal page at The Music Homie on Instagram and on X, Twitter. Not on Facebook, so don't look for me there. And yeah, I always say on the podcast, if you don't know how to spell The Music Homie, please don't follow me. You know, it's not that hard to spell, but some people have a hard time. So yeah, that's pretty much where you guys can find me, man. I appreciate you. Sorry if I was long-winded today. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's where everybody can find me.
Boom. And everybody, I'll have everything in the description. So, you know, if you do have trouble spelling, I will have all the links in the description for you guys. Yeah. You know, I think we had a great podcast, great interview today.
Thank
you know,
you,
we
man.
learned so much about Mike, you know, learned about his upbringing, about, you know, man, how the Asian guy saved his life in front of the grocery store.
Shout out that man.
You know, how we also learned that, you know, he loves singing. You know, we didn't get no tunes today, but you know,
singing, yeah.
but he loves singing, and that, you know, his first job was being a video production at Cal State San Bernardino, right?
Wild.
And how, you know, he basically felt his calling inside, his spirit inside called him to go to San Diego, and he's been there since. He had to fight. So let's keep that in note, ladies and gentlemen. Like, if something's calling you in a positive way to be there, to do something, fight for it.
Yeah.
Right. And so he fought to be there, and he's thriving. He's thriving there now, living a great life. You know, he's got his kids with him. He's got his business with him and his journey with him, you know.
Yeah.
So we learned so much today with Mike. I want to thank him again. I want to thank all you guys for listening. Please like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. Comment down below what you thought about today. My name is Antonio Lee Miles. If you guys didn't know, that's me. If you want to support the channel, what we're doing out here, you can do it with the cashbacks or the Cash App, which is $THEE Empire Podcast. Venmo, the same, THEE Empire Podcast. PayPal.me/The Empire Podcast. Again, all those will be in the description. And I think we had some good times today. You know, we learned a lot. We did a lot. You know, sometimes granny, but I'm but anyway, other than that, we will catch you guys in the next episode. All right?
Thank
Peace.
You. Thank you.
I say it's my duty. Yeah. Is it my will? Yeah. To do what? Yeah. To do is right. I say.
Appreciate you. That was amazing, man. Oh my God.
Thank you.